What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hammers Fans United, and welcome to a new segment on the channel, which is called Can We Talk? Now, obviously, I'm joined by the main man, Cieran, and my inspiration, Cieran, for the title was, do you know the song called Can We Talk by Tevin Campbell?
No. Well, maybe.
Right, so, right, you probably do. So basically, you know, it popped up on YouTube, people doing the Tevin Campbell challenge, because he made that song when he was about 15 or something, and so it's like an iconic tune, and you know, like there's other singers doing it. So yeah, when I was listening to that on YouTube, I thought, actually, that's what I'm going to name the show. So you've probably heard the song. Shall I sing it?
You probably have, yeah. Yeah, you're
Shall I sing it?
Yeah, you're good at that.
Alright, I'll sing it, and then you tell me if you know it. Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. You heard that? No?
Yeah, gotcha.
You heard that song, man. You must. Yeah. So anyway, that was the challenge, and I thought, okay, Can We Talk is a good name for the show. So let me just go to the comments. So you lot, there's no let me just big up everyone first, Cieran. What I'd say before we get to the comments, there's no direction. I'm going to find out more about Cieran. You know, I don't even know what I'm going to ask him, but I just feel that it's, for me, West Ham, if we speak, for me personally, just speaking about West Ham, that kind of limits what I'm all about. And I like to get to know people. I also like to, you know, I made the graphics and that last night, and I wanted to use them, and yeah, I like to, you know, have stimulating conversation basically, and Cieran is the perfect person for me, and there's many reasons for that, and one of them is, and this is with all due respect, he's a little bit older than me, and I feel that you have to learn and respect your elders, and you know, I'm going to ask you some questions. Yeah, they will be football related, but I genuinely want to know your answer. So one of them would be like, I want you to just tell me, like, you know, a West Ham player that, not yet, that you know, as you was growing up, he was your idol. And, you know, he's probably going to be, I might have heard his name, but I'm going to know nothing about him. But now I want you to tell me all about this player. Now, one example, he's not West Ham, but for me, R9 Ronaldo is a god to me. He's the only person that I would see and I would kind of be, you know, like idol worship. So there must be players that, you know, and the kids that I coach, I always say to them, in my opinion, he's like the best striker there ever was. Now, obviously, you might have a player that I've not really heard of, and now you're going to tell me he's quality. So yeah, just things like that I want to tap into your brain and your knowledge. Right, let me get to the comments, Cieran. Disabled team, as always, Merry Christmas, brother Titch and brother Cieran. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to Lee.
Merry Christmas to you both. And your family. And
yep.
Silla.
And Stuart, I know Lee, you know, really enjoys Christmas, and I genuinely hope he had a great day today. I'm not, you know, a Christmas fan per se, but I appreciate that a lot of people are, and I fully appreciate that Lee loves Christmas. So I'm hoping that he had a great day. Right, Disabled Team, Merry Christmas, viewers. Gaza, big up Gaza. Hi. Table team, how are you, mate? This is me. Let me get past that. Oh, I see Lawrence in the house. 1 second. So yeah, you lot, this is open to anybody and everybody. Guys, are you my friend? Lawrence, big up Lawrence. Hello everyone from Auburn, Alabama, USA. Respect, Lawrence, as always. Good, thank you for asking, guys. Merry Christmas. So yeah, also you lot, the purpose of this is, I want you to also ask, you know, Cieran some questions, and or just elaborate on maybe what I ask him, or you lot can give your opinions on certain questions I ask him, and you give me your answers to those questions. Lawrence, how you doing, Gaza? Hello, Gaza. Right, we've caught up. So Cieran, where do we start? Yeah, this is something like I said, there's no direction. It's not going to be in no chronological order. Good evening, Danny. How you doing? Right, Cieran, would you say that obviously you moved to Australia, and you know you used to follow West Ham, as in going to the games, going to the away games, and that? Would you say YouTube was a good thing for you being over in Australia and, you know, having the West Ham channels? And why?
Yeah, yeah. I think it can be, it is a good thing, right? Because I spent many years here. When I first came here in '87, it was really hard to see anything of football here. You know, it was never a priority here. It was always regarded as the third or fourth sport in Australia, because you had cricket, you had Australian rules, you had rugby league in front of it, and then that was last. And if there's a famous guy here that played for Australia and became a commentator here called Johnny Warren, and he was, I think, of Greek or Italian heritage. Can't remember, but they used to call it wog ball here. Now all the Italians here and the Greeks are classed as wogs, right?
See,
they class themselves as wogs, right? This is not a detrimental name, you know, said these days, but it is. If I said to her, "I shout you wog fucker," right? There's some Italian. This is what it's called. It's called the Aussies. Your real Aussies used to call it wog ball because they faux part it and just thought it was a puffs game. This is
right.
the truth, you know. This is how it was, right? So, and they just thought only Italians and Greeks played it, and Croatians and whatever. And that's why a lot of, most clubs in Australia, then, like Sydney Olympic was a Greek club, Sydney Croatia was a Croatian club. Every club had ethnicity alongside it. You know, when I played for Surfers Paradise, it was Surfers Paradise Apollo. It was run by Greeks because they were the main instigators, and thank fuck they were, to got football recognised in this country. But it was all about the Italians, the Croatians, and the Greeks. They got football recognised in Australia, and people like Johnny Warren and a few others. So it was really hard to watch football back then. You might get a match of the day highlight show, you know, once a week, and you had to watch it live, you know, 10 o'clock or whatever it was on a Saturday or Sunday. So since the advent of this YouTube and social media, for me, I get now all the information I want. I can see the channel I've got, Optus here in Australia, shows every Premier League game, every one live, right? And then I can watch the mini match of it, or I can watch the highlights. It's up to me. So yeah, it made a massive difference, right, to West Ham fans in Australia. Then back then, I was getting. Do you remember that Hammers magazine? I don't think it was produced by West Ham or not, but Hammers or Bubbles it was called. My sister used to post me that every month, right? So I could get the news, right, about West Ham, because she knew I couldn't get it. So yeah, it is a positive thing. For us, sometimes I think it can be too much. Too much information, and there's too much football on television. And I think it dilutes it a bit when you can see too much. So that's all.
Right, let me right, first of all, I'm glad Lee had a fantastic day, genuinely. And Kimmy, thank you for joining, and I was hoping that you would join because, you know, I want to update on how you are and how things are going. So, you know, when I scheduled this, I don't know the times all over, but I was hoping that you would join and you could, you know, shed some light on what's going on. Kimmy, boom, boom. Let me see what Lawrence says. Lawrence says, Cieran, do you like to see the West Ham fan base expanding to all over the world, especially that awesome dude in Alabama? Yeah, that's a good question. Do you like the fact that, I would say, you know, maybe through the internet and maybe through, you know, how big the Premier League is, the fact that it has reached out to places that, you know, maybe 20 years ago it wouldn't have done. Like, is that, for you, is that a good thing?
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic thing. The first time I ever went on a show was with American Hammer TV. And I said to Tim there and Alex, you know, I can't, why I like it, it's not like why Man City are expanding. Man City are expanding around the world through success. Right?
Yep.
That's what their brand name is now, with Pep Guardiola and all the money in they are funded by an oil state. So they were always going to be successful sooner or later. And West Ham are not. West Ham are just West Ham. And we just hope for success. And for a fan who comes from a different country, that knows nothing about, say, West Ham's history, or they do, they look into it. They realise that we're not a club. We are not a club that's going to win trophies every year. We're not winning league titles. And for them to pick West Ham, I've got the utmost respect. Because you're not glory hunting fans, boys. I think you're a little bit mental, to be honest. So, and in that way, then I can relate to you being a little bit fucking weird and a little bit mental because, you are picking a team that you're going to have more heartache than joy. And so I do have a lot of respect for overseas fans that support West Ham because I know what they're like. They're not glory hunting fans. They're
Exactly.
fans I want to support a club that is a proper club. And, and that's the same. If you were, like for TDT, if you're an overseas supporter supporting Leeds or Crystal Palace or that, you're not going for the glory. You're there because you want to be. And I really respect that. Yeah. Really
That's a good question, Lawrence. And like I said, at the start of the show, I said there's no direction to this, but it is about people communicating. I don't like to say the guest, but Cieran, for what it is, he's the guest, and posing questions to him, and I open it up maybe, and then we can elaborate on maybe what I've asked him. So that's what this is all about, you lot. And let me see. I appreciate hearing how you go. Kimmy, are you good? Tell me you're good. Gaza said Cieran is spot on. Kieran's generally spot on. Right, so like I said, there's no direction to this, you lot. This is about it's Christmas. It's been a busy day. Let's get, that's what this.
Might be Christmas for you, Titch. It's morning for me. That's morning, nice and cloudy and cool. Lovely.
Even that is weird. You know what? Because you've said that, Lawrence, what time is it for you? Kimmy, what time is it for you? Even the fact that how many time zones does Australia have, Cieran? Is it just one time zone?
No, we've got a few, mate. And so the reason what was quite annoying about the state I'm in, which is Queensland, is we don't change our clocks. We don't have daylight saving time, right?
Oh.
Which is crazy, right? We don't change it. So they won't do it in Queensland. They're just really backward for me in this respect. Like where New South Wales, which the border of New South Wales is only 40 minutes away. Once you pass that border, they've changed. So there's an hour's difference. Like in half an hour away, 40 minutes away, there's an hour's difference already. Right?
That's crazy.
It's crazy because in the height of summer here, which is about now, right, in January, like it gets light about 4:15. If we changed our clocks, it wouldn't get light till 5:15, and then we'd have that extra hour in the evening. But no, they won't do it in England. They trialled it for 1 year. It was fabulous. It was great. But no, they went, oh, no, we can't have that. The curtains will fade, and there was all sorts of these excuses coming up.
Curtains will fade.
Yeah, honestly, that was one of the excuses that people complained about, and they wouldn't. The people in the country, in the rural areas, said, the cows will have to get up an hour early to get milk. Shut up!
Come on, man.
What? Honestly.
So Lawrence says it's 5:12 p.m. So it's like bang in the middle of Christmas Day in Auburn, Alabama.
Yeah, they're early evening. Yeah, in America, they're 15 hours behind me, where Lawrence is. And
see, that's crazy. All this time difference is nuts. Hope you had a good Christmas, Titch. Gaza, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. It's stressful. I'm not really a Christmas person. And but like I said, man, people that enjoy Christmas, I hope you lot had a great day. Seriously, for me, I'm just not a Christmas person. So same Texas and Alabama is the same time zone. Cieran, Titch, I'm good spirits. Good. I'm glad you are. Seriously, and things will get better.
Good.
Okay, good. All right. So match on tomorrow 9 a.m. here, and Teach it's 3:13 p.m. in Seattle. So you lot has a normal time, right? And it's Cieran. What's the time there? 9:14, 9:15, is it?
Yeah, 9:15. Yeah, in the morning, Sunday morning.
Right, you lot. COVID permitting, I'll be doing a watch along tomorrow, and I'll be streaming it. Cam's gonna send me the link. It was Cam's idea, so I don't never stream football, but you know what? I'm gonna give it a go. It's something to do. And it just gives people something to once again tune in, and we just communicate. So yeah, that will be happening. But anyway, now I'm going to ask Cieran another question. So Cieran, going back to what I said at the start, right? Give me when you was growing up, right? I would say, from 20 downwards, who was the one West Ham player that you idolise, and tell me why? Because like I said, I probably have heard his name, but I probably know nothing. Now I want you to school me on his qualities and what you understand. So yeah, from 20 downwards, who was the one player, if you could pinpoint one player from West Ham?
Yeah, there was. We were lucky, when I started getting into football, because.
Good evening, Budgie. Sorry.
Hey, Budge. I was born in '61, so West Ham were a good side in mid-60s, really good side. So, my first games I was watching Bobby Moore, Martin Peters, and Jeff Hurst. It was my first game going to West Ham, and you go, wow. And you didn't appreciate, that would have been the late '60s, right? I went when I was 9, about 1970, 1969. So they were all there after winning the World Cup and everything else. And I love Bobby Moore. He just never had a hair out of place, mate. He was just so cool looking geezer. He was just so calm. Man. So he was sort of the first hero. But my ultimate hero then, of that era, when it was Billy Bonds.
Bonds, yeah?
I've never seen a player with so much commitment than Billy Bonds.
And I know, yeah, the thing is, I know, obviously, so that's someone that's, obviously I know Bobby Moore, I've never seen him play, but Billy Bonds, I am familiar with him. So yeah, okay, yeah. Why? So why was he your idol? Or yeah.
And it weren't because he was a great player or anything, right? He weren't. He was a workhorse, a good player, really good player. But his commitment to every tackle, to every game, was phenomenal. He used to he'd walk out on that pitch with his socks rolled down around his ankles, no shin pads in them. He didn't even wear shin pads. He would rip into every tackle, and a genuine tackle to win the ball. But he used to take the ball and the geezer, and that was me, because that's what I ended up trying to emulate when I played. I'd done that. And I ended up being a right back, and I'd go for that ball. I'd never try to hurt a player, but I'd try and get that ball and him a bit if he's in the way.
Yeah.
So Billy Bonds was that. And that is how you thought of him when you watched him from the terraces, right? But then when you read about him later on in life, and you say that he was probably the fittest guy they had in training, even when he was 40. He was one of the fittest guys on the training field. He'd do more running than everyone. He was dedicated footballer. Everyone thought he was just a real hard man. He weren't. He was actually quite a very shy man, very shy, timid man, and very withdrawn with other players. Now, he weren't one of them in the dressing room going mental, and mate having a laugh. He was very, very quiet guy and a very modest guy. But on the pitch, it changed. As soon as he walked over that white line, that guy just turned into a beast of a player and just wanted to win the ball, win the game. And if you ever watch old stuff of him, mate, you'll see it. And when he had the beard, and he had long hair with the beard, he looked menacing. Really menacing. So he became a hero of mine, after, say, Bobby Moore. Yeah.
Right, listen, I'm not going to be one to claim I know everything in regards to stats, but he did lift the FA Cup in 1980, didn't he?
He did, mate. He did.
Right, okay, yeah. I don't want. Yeah, so for you, seeing, and I mean, like after that was the last time we won anything. So, was it a special moment for you seeing Bonzo lift the FA Cup, or did you think that there were more success to follow?
Well, yeah, and we sort of did have more success. It was such a great time, 1980, right? 79, that season. We were a second division side then, and we got to that FA Cup final. Like I've told you before, I did go to the semi-final replay at Ellen Road.
Yeah,
we won, which was probably the greatest away night of my fucking life. To win that game. It was so tight against Everton. It was so tight again. But to get to that final, right, we're here now. You've got to remember, Arsenal, I think at the time, were about fifth in the league. they were in a European Cup final a week later or something. So they were heavy favourites to win this game, heavy. So to get to that final and actually win it, and Trevor Brooking of all people, the header to win the game, was man, it was the best weekend, the best time you could ever have. And I only hope that new supporters could experience that. That win, and that day, the next day of them coming down to East Ham Town Hall on the bus. And, there was about over 200,000 people turned up in East London that day.
Wow.
And I was down there with my mother. My mother came with me, and she loved it, and what an atmosphere. The whole weekend was just so fantastic. And you've got to remember that next season, we got to the League Cup final. That just was great for us supporters at the time. I got to go to Wembley to watch West Ham for the first time in that 1980 FA Cup final. Then we had the Charity Shield. I think we lost that. But then, the next season, we got to the League Cup final against Liverpool.
Yeah.
And drew. We drew it at Wembley. It was a draw. So it was another day out at Wembley. And then I went to the League Cup final replay at Villa Park. And in the end, Dalglish done us. And we lost that 2-1, I think. But we know that little short period of time, West Ham fans had 3 trips to Wembley to watch West Ham. It was fantastic. We were lucky.
Right, let me get to the comments. There's not a lot, I don't think. Good at the moment. Yeah, like I said, Kimmy, I'm glad that you've joined. Like, genuinely, I was hoping that you'd join this live as well. I'm not sure on all the times. I thought, what, in the States, this should be sort of, a normal sort of time. Good, thanks, Gaza. Pudgy. Good, Budgie. 1 second. Yeah, I'm going to be this. Sorry. Budgie. Right. Budgie says, I saw this. Billy Bonds was an absolute pleasure to watch and a monster to play against. What age did he retire?
I think it was something like 43. I think he might have got to 43. I know he was at least 40 when he was still playing. 43 is in my head, but I'm not 100%. But,
Titch is interviewing Ernie, Budgie. 1 second. I know. Wait. Bonds. Yeah. I. You know what? I do remember Billy Bonds as a player. Titch, I might go to stay with my cousin in Alaska. Right. Hold on. I know Alaska is like. I had one of my. One of the boys that used to play for me. He went out to Alaska to do like the scholarship thing, and that's miles from where you. Is it far from there, Kimmy? From Seattle. Okay, there's loads of comments. Sorry, you lot. In today's money, I'd expect Bonzo to be around 60 to 70 million. Easy. Let me just get rid of this spammer. Right, Gaza says we've got so many celebrities on this channel. We've got Bert and Ernie and Bruce Willis. Budgie, where's my love, yo? Danny says the timing was just right for me to get into the team when we had DiCanio. He did a lot. Not just for my interest in West Ham, but also in the sport in general. Yeah, DiCanio, what a character and what a player. Budgie says he thinks he was 43 when he retired, and
that's sort of in my head too, 43. Yeah.
Gaza thinks 42. You lot can Google that and let us know. Right, so so like I said, is my brother, who's not really a football fan, my eldest brother, but somehow he supported West Ham, and I don't know if that's because of winning the FA Cup and all that, because he was, when was he born? He was born in like 71, so he would have, maybe that's why. I don't even know why, but I remember he said to me when I was very, very young, you're West Ham, and I thought, all right, that's my that's my big brother and that. But I loved football. Like, no one in my family was football. Like, my dad wasn't really a football guy, and my brother, I just loved football, and I grew up where where Wimbledon used to train on Putney Vale. So I would literally go out by myself, and on the playing fields I'd see Vinnie Jones and John Fashional, because they lived it was right there. I used to steal the footballs and all that. So yeah, I would go there, and this is the truth. Yeah, I would do crazy things like, I'm by myself, like with my big curly hair and all that, and I would come across their balls, and the balls was heavy, big heavy balls, and I would boot them in the air and just let them land on my head, and I'm trying to impress, like I'm thinking, if they're looking at me, and yeah, I just loved football. So I should have supported Wimbledon, but no chance. So yeah, but the reason why I said that is because I think my nearest memory of West Ham as a team was probably 84, 85 or 85, 86 when we came third. And, my heroes was like McAvenny, Mark Ward, Tony Cotty, Devonshire, Ray Stewart, all of them. Like, I remember I done like a school report in primary school, obviously. And, one of the things was you have to name things that you like. And I remember specifically, all the things that I'd said aside from football. I said Mark Ward, Tony Cotty, and Frank McAvenny. That's that's what I named as things that I like. Yeah, that's what it was called actually, things that I like. So what was your recollection of that 85-86 season when we came third, obviously?
Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure for me, man, because that's the season, my last season really of going to watch West Ham home and away. Right, we're not every game away, obviously. You got to whatever you could then. But that was my last season before I emigrated to Australia. So, and I wouldn't mind. What really annoyed, if you really look and analyse that season, we started off really badly.
I don't remember that bit. I just remember that was probably, So explain that to me.
If you go back, if you look at the stats at that beginning of that season, we're really poor for the 4 or 5 games, 6 games. And then it all clicked. Because Paul Goddard was meant to be the striker with Cotty, and Paul Goddard got injured. Now Paul Goddard was a great player for us too, good player. Yeah. But he got injured. So once he got injured, we'd bought this guy called Frank McAvenny that nobody knew who he was.
From St Mirren.
From St Mirren. So who's he? Nobody knew him. Didn't even know what he looked like. And all of a sudden, him and Cotty just struck up the partnership and bang, bang, bang. There were goals going from everywhere, mate. We were just in heaven. Just goal fest every week. And they were just so good together. And it was brilliant. And what a season it was, mate. I remember him going to Chelsea. McAvenny must have scored 2, one cracker that he belted in the top corner. But yeah, McAvenny was one of them as well. You have to love him because he was a bit of a boy, a bit of a character. Like, he ended up being too much of a character, I think. But it was such a joy. He played the game with a smile on his face, mate, and he would see the enjoyment he was having playing the game. And it was a great season, mate. It really was. All of a sudden, if we hadn't had that bad start, we would have won that league. Yeah, no doubt about it. We just didn't kick off at the right way at the beginning. We would have won it. We were the best team in that league that year, and a lot of the old ex-pros have said it. That West Ham should have won it that year, because they were so good. Yeah, it was great. And you had Alvin Martin and Ray Stewart and just so many good players in that team, like Billy Bonds.
That was Phil Parks. See, I remember the Panini and all that, like Phil Parks with his it brings me back to those times where just the stickers and all that, and just these was like, for me, they was like heroes, and football wasn't as available. We as a family we had no money, like we was poor, like real poor. So I loved these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like they was like heroes to me. So but it's funny that's the season that you then, after that, you went to Australia.
Yeah, just as well, because I went to shit the next year afterwards. Because West Ham, this is I've always it's been my biggest pet hate of West Ham is we can't be consistent. We never never. We have one great season, and then it's followed by a relegation battle. We've always done that ever since I've known them. We've been like that. So if I could improve something about West Ham, it'd be consistency from one season to the next. And that's what I'm hoping for this one. Last year we finished 6th. If we finish in the top 8 again, to me that's progress. That is consistency. We're up there. That's what I want to see. Yep. It doesn't matter if we finish 4th or 6th. Everything's a bonus after that. But as long as we ain't fighting relegation or the season's over, come February, where
exactly.
I don't want that. I want to see West Ham competing and everything and having a go, win or lose. At least it's consistency and it's, you know, we're giving it a go. That's more important to me than anything. To back it up, back a good season up with another one.
Exactly. All right, let's just get to the comments quick. I fucking love you, Titch. I said it before. I look forward to you. And, you know, likewise, Kimmy. Like I said, is that your situation, it bothered me, obviously, and I know that everybody else, where we don't know, you know, we can just hear what you're saying online. It makes it, you know, even more like what's going on. And thankfully, you know, you and your boy is safe. Okay. And, yeah, it's just, you know, unfortunate, but, you know, in this world there is some horrible people, and thankfully for you is that, you know, it wasn't as bad as potentially it could have been. So, and I always say this, the person, you know, the perpetrator, the way the universe works, whatever you put out always comes back to you, and, you know, he will get his comeuppance. Trust me, that's the way it works. And, you know, if you don't acknowledge that, then more for you. That's the way it works. I don't know how, but it is. Budgie says, sorry Kimmy, I was just dreaming. Merry Christmas, sweetheart. Love, much respect to you, mate. Merry Christmas, hon. Bless you, Kimmy. 1 second, Cieran. Wow. Budgie says, wow, the love is so warm here this evening. Kimmy says, I need some love for real, so I'm giving it as much as possible. I seriously mean it with y'all. I'd rather talk to any of you than my own family. Yeah, and that's, you know, sometimes it's easier to talk to, you know, people that are not so close to you. Like, so yeah, like I said, not even the back of my mind, I was hoping, Kimmy, that you would be in attendance for this, just so that, you know, you can talk and we can get an update basically. And it sounds like, you know, things are getting better. I need some. Oh, sorry. Wow, Kimmy, that's big stuff. Love chatting with you too, hon. And Lawrence, all love Kimmy. Right. So, like I said, it's got no direction, Cieran. It's got no. What I would ask you is, explain Harry Geezer. Like, tell me, it's two separate names, and how did Harry Geezer? Because it's not one name. I've titled it as one name, but you know, where did Harry come from, and where did Geezer come from as a nickname?
Yeah, I've got three names here in Australia: Cieran, Harry, or Geezer. It basically, the Harry one, right? It was a really strange one. Well, funny. I was playing for another football team here at Greenbank here. A really good side actually. All old, couple of ex-pros and ex-semi-pros in the team. And I turned up, and because they run it from the Greenbank RSL across the road from me here. It's a big pub sort of club type thing. And yeah, they asked, you know, got talking to these guys. Most of them are expats, you know, mostly English or Scottish. And I got talking to them. They said, "Oh, do you want to play in our team?" And this is when I'm in my late years here, but you know, after 30. And I said, yeah. So I played with them, and there was another guy on the team. His name was Cieran, right? Yeah. And it was getting really confusing on the pitch, right? So we walked in after half time one day, you know, back in the dressing room, and the captain of the team, Russell, he went, right, I've had enough of you two, right? You're Cieran, he said, fuck me, one of you needs to change your name. And I just said, right, I said for a laugh, you know, I used to love the young ones when I was growing up, right? If you ever watched that show.
Yeah.
And they had a character on there called Harry the Bastard, right? So I said, can I be Harry I just said for a laugh, I'll be Harry the Bastard then. He went, yeah, that'll do, Harry. And from that moment, everyone in that club, I even to this day, like, you know, 20 odd years later, there's people just call me Harry. Don't know my name's Cieran.
Yeah.
It was always Harry. Yeah, so I've got lots of people who call me Harry. Like, Harry. And it's just from that one silly comment. The Geezer one is when I was working away out west, right? And I was terrible at remembering names. We had about 100 Filipinos working for us there, really. And they're a nice race of people, mate, the Filipinos. I'll tell you that now. They're lovely people, mate. Really loving and giving people, them. And so they couldn't pronounce my name either or anything. And I'd forget which one was which. They all look the bloody same, you know?
Yeah.
Not allowed to say that these days, I know that.
Yeah.
But they do, because not only when you worked out west, they didn't like the sun bad. So they would you'd have to wear the full kit, the helmet, the high vis, like long sleeve, but they'd wear ski masks as well with sunglasses. Like some
Yeah.
they were.
So you
on
ain't,
the face.
yeah, of course.
So
I bet there was like similar height as well.
Yeah, they all small.
Yeah, so
mate.
yeah.
There's only
Yep.
1 out of 20 would be a bit tall, but they're all the
Yeah.
same. They all just look the same. So they had to write their names on their helmets, right? So you knew which one was what, you know. So I didn't know who was. You'd have to look at the back of their helmet to get their name, you know. And I just, and I'd have to say, oi, if I didn't know, you know, I'd say, oi, geezer, like that. And it turns out that when it comes to everyone logging me in on their phones and whatever, they just put me down as geezer because I'd call them geezer all the time.
Yeah.
So they all called me geezer. And then one day a guy there, he scrubbed out my name and put, because no one could, because it's spelt with a C, they couldn't work it out.
It's hard for them to pronounce that.
So he just wrote geezer on the back of my helmet, and that was that. Everyone in that industry calls me geezer.
Geezer. So, before I get to this comment, because I want to address this comment. If you had to pick one name, would it be Harry or Geezer? Like, which one would you rather take on board? Like, if you could only pick one.
It wouldn't bother me. You know, it wouldn't bother me either. I answer to all of them. You know what I mean? You know, I had a funny one the other week, about 6 months ago, in a pub, right? And I got introduced to these guys, and they said, "Hey, mate, how you going?" One of them said, "Yeah, my name's Harry." I said, "Oh, is it?" And the other one said, "Yeah, my name's Cieran." I went, "Fuck off."
God.
I said, "You're taking the piss there. You're Cieran and you're a Harry." And I went,
Oh, my days.
I said, "That is it."
Let me get to this comment. Right, sorry, Cieran. Richard, thank you for joining. And, you know, Richard he's never in the live chats anywhere, I don't think, but he's made some very, for me, significant comments on my videos. And I referenced one of them in the Lion video where Richard said, you know, that I am 10 years ahead of my time or whatever. And, you know, he said, actually, you know, just like Martin Peters, you know, and he's talking about, you know, I think, you know, the way I do things on YouTube and as a fan channel, and, you know, and I haven't had any chance to communicate with Richard because, like I said, he would comment on pre-recorded stuff, and everything I'd done up until I started using StreamYard was editing, and I will, you know, I'm going to keep doing that. And even with StreamYard, where StreamYard is very easy to go live, you can still see that I have to customize it and make it, you know, better, or no, sorry, different from everybody else. Yeah, like, you know, I'm very creative. So, yeah, Richard, thank you for commenting on a live stream, because so far you've been the mystery man. Like, you've commented on a few pre-recorded stuff, and, you know, good comprehensive comments as well. So, respect. So, and also he said Budgie Byrne was my first West Ham. Right, who is Byrne? Like, because I don't, that name.
Budgie Byrne was a striker, and I'd say after that comment, Richard must be of my age, maybe even older, because he was one of the superstars of West Ham at the time. Budgie Byrne, up front for West Ham, scored a lot of important goals. I think he might have scored a goal, maybe that cup.
Can I stop you, Cieran? Let me stop you. Sorry, I don't like doing that. I thought he was addressing Budgie. I thought he said Budgie. Yeah. Byrne was my. Do you understand? But you're saying his name is Budgie Byrne.
Yeah, Budgie
Carry
Byrne.
On. Sorry, Cieran.
A striker for West Ham at the time, in the 60s, I would say. Not sure if he might have made it into the 70s as well, but in the 60s, Budgie Byrne was a top player for West Ham. So I'd imagine Richard's probably my age, or thereabouts.
And you know what? Yeah, you know, if Richard is your sort of age, I take it even more as a compliment. Like I said, he's commented on a few of my videos, and they're always comprehensive, and they're always, for me, very, very encouraging. So if that's like, you know, and I, you know, as soon as he said, you know, like the Martin Peters thing, and for me, that's just like, it's the biggest accolade, and I would hope that he is your sort of age. The reason why is because, you know, YouTube is. That's why I asked you, like, do you feel YouTube's been a good thing? And I know that I am different compared to all these other channels. So, you know, if somebody is of an older generation and they're still looking at my stuff and saying, you know what, I even more respect, and, you know, it's even more of an honour for me to receive those type of comments.
Well, it is actually, like you said, if he's at my age group, it's a lot harder for us to appreciate what goes into this. You know what I mean? Because we don't know what goes into it because we're rubbish at it. But we sort of know. Yeah, it is creative and it is good. And I think maybe we do appreciate it more because we realise that it's bloody hard for us.
Yeah.
To do anything like this. Maybe we do.
But Richard, respect, man, and you know he might be gone now. This guy's like, you know, he's there and then he's gone, so maybe he's gone now. But yeah, he's commented on a few of my videos, you know, and yeah, I'm glad that he's entered this chat, and you know, I'm glad that I've been able to on the live stream, you know, show him my respects to him. Cieran is Titchy's real Christian. Is Titchy's real Christian name. You lot, and look, listen, my name is Martin Joseph Donnelly. And the funny thing is when Dave,
you cannot get any more Irish than that.
Irish, exactly.
Martin Joseph Donnelly.
Junior,
I'm Cieran Francis, by the way.
Cieran
Francis,
yeah.
Joseph. I'm Cieran Francis Joseph.
Oh, you Joseph, yeah? See?
Yeah, that was my confirmation name. I picked that one, the Joseph one.
So look, I didn't know that. So I'm Joseph and you're Joseph.
Yeah, there's a Joseph in there, mate. Yeah.
So yeah. Right, everyone. Thank you, Lawrence. Before we go any further, you lot. So like I said, this show it's a new thing, and it is open to, you know, I hope to get Cieran on this channel, you know, when he can, like maybe weekly or fortnightly, whatever. But this type of concept is open to everybody, and I'll say it again, I don't want to be pigeonholed into West Ham and speaking about the game. And no, like that's why I come up with one from each team, which is open to, you know, all the Premier League teams. I'm not just, you can't put me in one box. And this here is I enjoy this stuff, and you know, getting to know people, and you lot getting to know more of Cieran, and you know, there's loads of questions I can ask him, and you lot will, you know, you'll learn more about him. And one second, Cieran, so is your nickname you know what, the worst thing is, Danny, when you said that, I can hear his voice and his mannerisms in my face, and I'll go on record and say this, you know, you know, it's funny to me, it's that is really funny to me. And you know, there might be an underlying issue as to why and all of that, and possibly, you know, I know what I know now and whatever, you know, but it's funny to me. Like I said my piece on that, but you know, the good thing is it gave us content and a private joke. When you said that, Danny, in my head I could hear his voice and I could see him, like, yeah, so I love it seriously. And you know, it's funny because I'm all about respect, you lot. I always say this, I'm all about respect, and you know, it takes a lot for me for you lot to, not you lot, for people to push me. Like I can let a lot of stuff slide, but once I've crossed that line and say, you know what, enough's enough, then it's a different person. So, but that there is nothing to me. It's like I didn't get it, I didn't get the disrespect, it didn't make no sense to me. No. And you know, we all had a laugh about it, and it's a private joke, so thank you very much for that. But you know what, keep that coming, man, because that makes me laugh. That actually is funny, man. I love it. Right, let's get to the comments. There's only a few, Cieran. I'm not named after Budgie Byrne, unfortunately, but I may just claim it as so. Yeah, you should do. Like I said, I thought Richard was addressing Budgie and just using Byrne's surname. I'm coming. So I'd never heard of Budgie Byrne, you know, and that's what I'm saying. This is why it's good to do these things. I've never heard of this guy. Coming back as Dax. Be right back. That's the Ripper. Thank you, Budgie. Make that free, my rose. It's all banter. Right, Cieran, so I'm going to give you two players of mine. I've said, you know, I'll repeat the first one. So for me personally, as a striker, and you know, I know he had his injuries and that, I personally feel that Ronaldo, R9, was the greatest striker ever, right? And for me, as a player, the greatest player ever for me would have to be Diego Maradona. Now, I know for a fact there's no way you're going to agree with both of mine, or you're going to have. So I would like to know who you would class as your best striker in the world and your best player overall, like in ever, and why.
I'll tell you what, you're not
one sec, Cieran. Sorry, and also this question is for those in the chat as well. Sorry, Cieran. Yeah. So who? Yeah, okay. So who would you?
I always find it hard. Like when we were growing up, right? It was everyone thought that Pele was the best player anyone's ever seen. Right? That was, that was it. No, I don't think anyone disagreed with it until Maradona came along, and then I thought this is the best player I've ever seen. I could not believe how good he was. Right? How good he was. And I know we were all upset when he smacked that goal in with his hand. Right? But in that same game, he's probably scored one of the best goals in World Cup football ever.
Yep.
And he walked right through the whole of the England team.
Yep.
And just took the piss and then slammed it in, mate. The best and the worst of him was in that game. He was phenomenal. And I think he's probably the best striker I've ever seen. And when you say Ronaldo, I don't think you're far wrong either.
Okay.
I think he is. I think them two, if someone pushed me, and I see Pele, I felt sorry for Pele. He was good. He was brilliant. But they were in the days when defenders were allowed to kick you in the air. And he absolutely got butchered Pele at times. He got butchered. He got smashed to pieces. Like, as a young boy, 17 and 18, everyone just hacked the shit out of him when they could. But what I loved about Maradona, they tried to do that with him, and he just seemed to bounce off them. He bounced off them when they tried to kick him and still go. And just, it looked like he was falling, but he still had control of the ball. And he was wonderful. A wonderful player, man. At Barcelona, what's the other Italian club? Was the Italian club?
Napoli,
wasn't it? Mate, the boy was, the bits I did get to see of him. And then it's a shame Argentina didn't have the strongest team in his day. They didn't. So, not all the time anyway. They were in and out. But he ends up, they won the World Cup with him, didn't they?
No, he won the World Cup for them because that team was that's what I'm saying.
I bet. Yes, I think they would have had 2 or 3 World Cups under their belt with that player. He was so influential. He was so brilliant. And I know he cheated us, but still, you've got to appreciate how good he was, mate. And let's put it this way: for all these people, fucking he's a cheat. If England had done that, if one of our had handballed it, we would have took it and not a problem. We wouldn't have been bothered us one little bit. We wouldn't have called him a cheat. We'd have called him a genius for hiding it so well.
Exactly. I watched that World Cup. That's probably the first World Cup that I actually remember. You understand? Because before that it was Spain, wasn't it, in '82? So Mexico '86, and obviously I'm supporting England, and I didn't feel as bad as people at my primary school that what he done. I just loved this guy, it's probably the first time that I sort of knew him because there's a World Cup. And like I said, for me, that's the first World Cup I remember. And I just appreciated that this guy is phenomenal. And I don't know. I mean, when I was younger, I was very smart. So I looked at the bigger picture and I thought to myself, he done it for his country. Would I do it for my... I loved football. So would I do it for my country? Yes, I would. I would do that. And you have to have a technique. To pull that off, you can't just stick your hand up. You've got to disguise it. So there was an art in what he done. And
how
then...
he did that? How he hit that? Because you didn't know he'd done that when you first saw it. You had to see the slow motion replays to realise what he did.
Exactly.
And went, and these people in glass houses, should be throwing stones.
Exactly.
Professional footballers every week, kick a ball out and then claim the throw.
Exactly. It's the same thing.
Reflect off and all that, then they claim the corner, and they know it's not. So what's the difference between that?
Exactly.
And he's cheating. His cheating just led to a goal that got through to the World Cup finals eventually. So no, it's just where do you draw the line? The boy was really, really clever. And not that I'm going to give him loads of credit for it, but I wish I'd done it.
What I would say is, like I said, because I put him, when I first came onto YouTube, the studio that I created, I didn't really create that one, I sort of added to it, and I put a picture of him on the wall. I think he passed away just after that as well. So, he's definitely, I'm just glad that in the same game, he scored probably the best goal in World Cup history. So
Simple as that. He did.
Yeah,
That
and
was the genius of it.
yeah,
Simple as that. He's a genius.
you know, I mean, even watching it live, I'm thinking Peter Reid is running like a bloody old donkey going to the slaughterhouse. Like, you're not catching him. Like, he ain't getting nowhere. Then who was it? Terry Butcher. Yeah, like bloody hell, make a tackle. Right, let me get to the comment. Right, Budbridge said, I generally thought that was a setup. I don't know. Obviously, we've missed. I generally thought that was a setup. Sorry, Budgie. That's what happens when you get a little bit behind. I would have to go with Vlasic. Lawrence says, best player ever is Vlasic. I'm still hoping he'll come good, man. And you have to give some players time. I'm not going to write him off. Best player ever for me is Zola. Okay. He was a great player. And the thing is, he, like Maradona, played for Napoli.
Yeah.
The good thing about, not the good thing, the thing about Maradona is he went to Napoli and, they won the league. They hadn't done for many of years. Argentina, he literally carried that team in 86 to, I just think that he as an individual that can carry a team in a World Cup is almost impossible. You understand? So
it is really, isn't it? And it's amazing what difference he made. He was
all right.
Unbelievable, man.
Best striker generally, Kun Aguero. Okay. You know what? I do love Aguero. For me personally, I wouldn't put him up there as the best striker ever. But I can't dismiss your opinion. You understand? Everybody's got different opinions. But Aguero is,
I'd give him he's probably the best Premier League striker ever. I'll give him that. But in the world, no. I'd put Maradona, Pele, and Ronaldo in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Right, Kimmy says, hey, I'm back. Phone died. What did I miss? You didn't miss much, I don't think. I don't think you missed much. I'm going to try and think of another question to pose to Cieran, but like I said, this is about the people in the chat getting involved as well. Right, sorry, let me just click back on that. It clicked off. Not much, just return love and message from Titch to say how glad we are that you're here. They say, oh, okay. Right, Cieran, let me think of a question. Like I said, there ain't no plan to this. Okay, right, Cieran. Who do you feel was in West Ham history, or your West Ham history, who was an underrated player that even now you feel doesn't get the recognition that he maybe deserved?
Wow.
Yeah. Someone whose name doesn't really get mentioned.
Well, there's a few, I suppose. I'll tell you a guy that, in my day, and the day of Budgie Byrne, or just after Budgie Byrne, I would say, was a guy called Brian Robson, right?
Yeah, I know Brian Robson. Yeah. Yeah.
Robson, he came to our school, actually. I've met him. He came to our school.
Okay.
With a coaching team in the school. Him, and so did Frank Lampard Senior and Bobby Moore, for that matter. But
wow.
He was a great little striker, man. And again, he was about the same sort of size as bloody Maradona. And how he got for headers and snipped in. He was a great striker. He's probably not remembered as much as he should be, but I'd imagine people of my age will give him that credit. Same as Clive Best. Clive Best was a monster for us. And whoever watched him back then appreciated how tough. He wasn't the greatest striker in the world, Big Clive.
Oh, he wasn't.
He was effort, mate. He was a big lump, man, a massive man. Like, he put all the effort in. I liked him. And I tell you, the goalkeeper that when he first started at West Ham, oh man, I thought he was going to be the best thing since Peter Bonetti. He was called the Cat, and all of a sudden, Mervyn.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know Bonetti. I don't know him, but I know Bonetti and his nickname.
Chelsea, he was some keeper, and then Mervyn Day come on the scene at West Ham, and he was amazing. He's so athletic. He pulled off saves, like top corners, little fingers, and then he just went off. He went off and just didn't recover. He just seemed to lose confidence, lose form. He weren't the same keeper after that. And I think that's when we brought in Phil Parks after him. But he was a terrific keeper. He was so good. when he was young. I just don't know what happened to him that he lost it. But
Yes.
yeah, Pop Robson. There was a lot. I mean, John McDowell probably didn't get. He was a right back for us. He didn't get the recognition he should have done. Even Frank Lampard Senior, he was a terrific left back. Another workaholic, like Billy Bonds. You know, fitness mad. And Frank Lampard Senior was a top left back for West Ham.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna ask you a question. Let me just get here, just quickly, because you said Lampard. 1 minute. I cannot, as an Englishman, give that cheating Argentinian credit. Nah, you know what? And Budgie also says Stuart Slater would be his underrated player.
Great pick. He was a terrific player for West Ham.
I remember Stuart Slater.
It was a lot of people's favourite at the time, Stuart Slater. So I don't think he was underrated by the fans. I think he might have been underrated by everyone else.
The medium and outsiders. Really Titch, who's Harry's best player? I think he was there.
So yeah, obviously, the best player, obviously, in world football and in the history of football has got to be me, Harry Kane. So yeah, obviously, I'm gonna go with myself. So yeah, obviously, it's me.
You're talking shite as you're Mr. Kane.
Right, what I was gonna ask you is, and because I have no clue, how good or bad was Harry Redknapp as a football player?
He was good.
Good player,
really good and quick.
Was he fast?
He was fast as fuck. He was on the winger, right winger. He was fast as fuck. Because he even had a song. He had a song and everything. We got Harry Redknapp on the wing. He was quick as and a good player. A very good player. So yeah, he was good.
You know, I said at the start of this show, or whatever you want to call this, that this is why I look forward to things like this, because I don't know anything about Harry Redknapp as a player, at all. So it's good to get your perspective and knowledge on these players, and we're definitely
a tricky fast winger. That's what he was. He was pretty good.
And the thing is, obviously I know him as a manager more so, and then now when you see him in it, I can't envision him being a tricky fast winger. I just can't. But
No, you don't look it, but he was. Yeah.
Kimmy
on
says,
pitches, remember, which were mud heaps as well.
Yeah, exactly.
He was good.
Kimmy, it's all love, man. Back at you, and I'm just glad that you're good. Seriously. Lawrence is laughing at Harry Kane. Buddy says, yeah, club underrated Slater. Dax, thanks for telling me. Okay. This is a question. Like I said, there ain't no direction here, but it should open up to the chat as well. Cieran, who would you say is the best foreign player to play in the Premier League ever? Give me I'm narrowing it down. Give me 3 players that you would say, as a foreigner coming over here. These 3, yeah, for you, like 3 is better, I think.
I'll tell you what Budgie said earlier, Franco Zola. Jeez, I love him. Even taking my West Ham glasses off, I love watching him for Chelsea. Thought he was fabulous. He was a fabulous player. Absolutely fabulous. But there's probably an underrated player there. You see, for us, I'll give a foreign player for us would be Yossi Benayoun.
Yeah.
Skill coming out of Arsenal, he was bloody good. But yeah, foreign players, there's so many now, isn't there? To look back on. You could probably pick 50, couldn't you?
Exactly, it's not easy.
No, but it depends on what you want. Are you talking about flair and skill and that? If I could pick a player to stick in the midfield, right, for us, right now, it would be Patrick Vieira. That's who I'd have, mate. That boy was a leader. He was a beast. I loved him, man. I'd love to have had him at West Ham. Didn't care who he's up against. He dragged Arsenal into the fucking 20th century, Ross. He was an amazing player.
And this goes
of what he did.
Yeah. This is a question for you, but also people in the chat, because I'm going to promote. Have you ever seen the Best of Enemies, which is Keane Vieira, when they're in the, they've stopped playing now, but they sit down?
Yeah,
in front of each other.
I
That
think
is,
I did a long while back, Titch. I think,
yeah. It's probably about
Really
7-8 years ago, maybe 5 years.
They're
But
really into each other, aren't they?
it's a good watch, people. So if you haven't seen Best of
another
Enemies,
one,
I'm sure that's the title. Yeah, Roy Keane.
You'd have him in your team. He's a horrible bastard. Horrible.
Yeah.
But you'd have him in your team all day long.
Yep. Yeah, you lot. If you haven't watched it already, it's a good. No, it might be about 5 years old max. Best of Enemies, and it's Keane and Vieira. They sit down across each other from a very small table, and they go at it, respectively, respectfully.
Yeah.
But they also have to pick their ultimate combined 11. There's a bit of I'm taking them out and putting. Yeah, so it's a great watch, and I like seeing that. Like they finish playing and the respect's still there, but the animosity is still there as well. What I like about Roy Keane is that he's very much. He says it how it is. I don't think he's trying to play up to no persona. He is who he is, and I love that. For a man that's going to leave the World Cup because he feels that, listen, this is not good enough. Like this. Come on, what are we, a joke? And leave that man. That means that man's got morals and standards, and he sticks by his principles. So, yeah, he's one of those people. He's not playing up to no camera. That is him. And some people are just funny naturally, and he's one of he's one of those guys. I'm just laughing thinking about him. But let me go.
Well, he's one of them pundits you want to listen to, isn't you? Because he's just going to say as it is, not sugarcoat it. Yeah.
Do you know what I love? I love Keane and Micah Richards' relationship. I just think that is fucking it's quality TV, man. Those two, you would never put them together, but yeah, they are. There you go, less confusing. Right. So this is a good question. Lawrence says, "Who is the best US player to play in the Premier League?" Cieran, that's for you.
US player. Ooh.
I don't know. I'll get to the comments after.
I forget his name. I know the guy I've got him in mind, but I forgot his name.
Dempsey? No?
Yeah, I mean Dempsey.
Clint Dempsey?
Yeah, I can't remember that many.
I'm trying to think if I can.
Level US players. I like this Pulisic. Yeah. But Dempsey is the only one I remember. And what was Craig Forrest? Was he Canadian?
He's Canadian, yeah. Charlie's. So you're going to go with Dempsey, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
Right, let me get to the comments, Cieran. I would put Makelele in that category too. That's as the foreign players in the Premier League. Makelele, and the thing is, obviously he had a position named after him. Like, Claude Makelele was a phenomenal player. Foreigner to me is.
Really liked about him, when he ever scored a goal at Makelele, you could tell that everyone on that team loved him.
Exactly. Yep.
You could tell, mate. They just had so much love for him. He must have been such a gentleman, a nice guy in the dressing room, and such a good bloke. Because they just all went mental if he ever scored a goal. They loved him. So, yeah, you can tell you that I bet he's a really nice guy.
Kimmy says, foreigner to me is...
He's not in prison now, and I'm wrong.
So, Kimmy, what I meant is any non-English player that came over to play in the Premier League, like... Who would Cieran say is his best? I think I said best, and then I said, top three, if that helps you. Right, so, special guest in the comments is Charlie Walsh. How are you doing, my brother? Merry Christmas. I know it's a bit late, Yucatan, I'm sorry. Listen, no apologies needed. Thank you for joining, Charlie, as well, as always. I'll say it again, there's very few people, man, that on YouTube, man, that I can sort of... I don't know. There's not a lot, unfortunately, but Charlie, he knows already. So, and you lot know, I say it every time. So, big up Charlie Walsh. Hammers Chat, they don't need me to promote them, and everybody that's watching here is probably already subscribed to them. But if you're not, Hammers Chat and Hammers Chat Forum, and also a top lad is Charlie's channel, who he doesn't take it too seriously, but you can still subscribe. And Charlie, listen, what I'm doing now with Cieran, I want to get everybody on here. So obviously you'd be another guy, and just there's no direction. It's just questions and blah blah blah. Your sort of questions would be, how did you find your way on YouTube and blah blah blah. But yeah, there's no direction to this. Anyway, he says, I hope you're all good. I'm great. Cieran's great. Lawrence, in my humble, I'll have to say Pulisic before him, Clint Dempsey. Yeah, there's not a lot of choice, unfortunately.
No, there's not.
Danny. You know what? I might go with Danny. Danny says Tim Howard. Sorry, I know I'm a bit behind.
Yeah, true. Yeah, good keeper.
Dempsey done well though. Dempsey did do well when he came over here. But Howard was here for a longer period. Kimmy says, I'm American and Americans are not common Premier League at all. Nah, there's not I can't even think. Oh, Friedel says Budgie. So yeah, Friedel was there from the first one. He was probably the first American, isn't it? Of note in the Premier League. It was Brad Friedel, man. Sorry, look, let me get back to this thing here. Charlie, I have to ask you, what are you saying about the graphics, my friend? I always have to ask Charlie. Oh, Jonathan Spector. Wow, okay. I forgot. I didn't forget. Hello, Charlie, says Lawrence. Jonathan Spector. Yeah. But he's West Ham, so we have to say, yeah, he was a bit Budgie. Yeah, Charlie, what are you saying? Graphics wise, are we liking this? Where we? Budgie, my dude. I can see Hammerhead. I'm just getting down. Okay. Charlie says, Titch, whenever you want to do it, let me know. I'm on it. Good, thank you. I knew you would be anyway. And I know Charlie, he makes time through a busy schedule. You know what? I'm slurring a bit. I'm drinking alcohol for once. I've got Disaronno and Coke. And I don't really drink. I drink probably twice a year. So yeah. They're a little bit tipsy, but not tipsy like.
I'm on the tea.
On the tea. But yeah, Charlie. So like I said, anybody watching this is, and the reason why it's just me plus one is because, we can have a conversation and I can utilize what I've made, because this is made for two people. So I need someone else on it with me, but obviously only one person. But yeah, I would like to get people, Lawrence and Wally, Charlie, Budgie, people on here that, we just talk basically. There's no direction, but it's just good to get to know people basically. Sorry, Cieran, I'm going to come with another question. Let me get to the comments. Charlie is a good man, but does he like pineapple on his pizza? Hammerhead, big up yourself. Brad Friedel, big up Hammerhead all the time, each and every time. Yes, Charlie, just getting over the flu and waiting for PCR results. I'm thinking of a question for Cieran as well. 1 minute, Cieran. Oh, come on. Friedel's one of the best Premier League keepers of all time. Who did he play for? He played for Liverpool, Villa, Tottenham.
Did he? Tottenham.
He did play for Tottenham, didn't he? Or am I wrong here? Did he? Yes, he did, man.
No.
I think. Evening, Hammerhead. Happy Christmas. Merry Christmas, sorry. Graphics are looking peng, not going to lie. The neon lights are sick. Hey, you know how long it took me to do this, but all in one night. But I'm very you lot know me, man. Once I start something, I'm like, and then the thing is, I thought, you know what? I need to use it. I said, Cieran. He's like, yeah, come on, I'll help you out. So I was like, yeah, we can use it. You need two people.
Wait, I want to know where this word peng come from. What else it means good? Where's that come from?
All right, so you've heard the word, yeah, Cieran?
Yeah, I've heard Charlie say it a few times. That's why I got down. I've worked out that it means something good, but what?
Yeah.
What?
All right, so initially, peng would be reference to a girl. So you say, oh, that girl's peng, meaning like she's nice, she's sexy, whatever. So then, then it evolved into peng for anything good. So peng originally was talking about a female, sexy or fit or whatever, painting. And then, yeah, peng is now like, oh, that burger's peng. Go to that place for their burgers, they're peng. So, yeah, it's just used for something that's like, yeah. So,
okay.
1 second. Boom, boom, boom. Just want to get to the, yes, Titch, get in there, lad. We're all in the same boat tonight, brother. Oh, okay, see? I'm drinking. It's not too strong. It is, but it's not. Blackburn. Oh, yeah, he played for Blackburn, said Hammerhead. And he played for the Spurs, so he must have, that's at least 4, because it was Villa, Spurs, Blackburn, Liverpool. That's at least 4 Premier League. So yeah, maybe Friedel might be the guy, you know, because of his longevity. Liverpool, Blackburn, Villa, Tottenham. Okay, yeah, sorry. And that's just in the Prem. Yeah, so I think, you know what, it might be Friedel. Evening, lads and ladies. Haha. Right, so I'm trying to think of a question for Cieran. Cieran. Shit. What can I think of?
You can't be stuck for words.
Nah, I'm never stuck for words. All right, Cieran. Realistically, yeah. If you could pick 3 realistic signings for us in January, like realistic to us, who would you personally pick? Like, you know, taking into consideration our injuries, the squad, Europa, all that. Who would you personally pick that is realistic? Like, you know, like within our budget or slightly out of that budget.
Yeah.
And people in the chat.
I know. I like that. Yeah. Look, realistic and what you want are so different, aren't they? I think Origi's realistic, but probably not in January. And I wouldn't mind him. I wouldn't mind giving him a go. You know, I think he might suit Moyes. So I wouldn't mind him. The guy I thought was realistic probably 18 months ago was the left back Zinchenko at Man City, because he weren't really getting a look. I thought that's a lefty I'd love to have, because now he's starting to get more game time. He's starting to look the goods, and I mean maybe he's not realistic now, but I think he was 18 months ago.
Yep.
And he said, "Oh Jesus," I like that Nate Phillips at Liverpool too. If he's that far behind the pecking order at Liverpool, it might be realistic to tempt him away so he can get game time. So, and I'd like to take a punt on him, because the bits I've seen, I think he's good. I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's a great centre half yet, but I think he could be a good one. So yeah, but when you start taking players from Liverpool or any of the top teams, you always worry that if they're prepared to let them go, there's something missing.
Yeah, why? Yeah.
Because why would Pep or Klopp let these go if they, you know? But yeah, they're the 3 I'll be happy. From what's been bandied about, you know, without me looking at it in depth around Europe, which I don't, they're the 3 guys I wouldn't mind. That wouldn't bother. Obviously, if Lingard comes, he comes. If he don't, he don't. But, you know, I ain't going to go any more on about fucking Lingard. I'm sick of hearing the story. You either want to come or you don't. And it's as simple as that.
Yeah. Hammerhead says Lingard has to be one. I don't know if, you know, with Lingard, and I don't want to spend too long on this, you lot, because this show's not really about that type of talk. I think that maybe he was promised whatever at Man United, and now he's, you know, in his mind he's like, okay, if he is going to stay there, I'm staying there to you know, have one over on you, like I'm going to leave here for free, right? Or all the talk that we hear is he's just doing that just to force West Ham and listen, come and get me. Do you understand? Like, look, like, just show. Yeah. So I don't know the situation, and that's why it's very hard to judge Jesse Lingard's mentality, because we don't know what is actually true, and that's why I kind of stay away from transfer talk and all of that. I don't make no videos on that type of.
Just get bored of hearing the same old crap being regurgitated every bloody 10 minutes. Bored of it.
Right, and you know, Rich and Wharton, they weren't, you know, like, obviously. 1 minute, I'd go with 60 million budget. Lingard 8.5, Origi 12.5, and 30 million on Jesus City. You know, I would love to have definitely Jesus at West Ham. You know, like realistically, no, but you know, I would definitely.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I like him.
I don't think Pep's letting him go somehow.
Right, Hammerhead says exactly my thoughts with Zuma, Cieran. Why would Chelsea let him go? What do they know that we don't?
Yeah, well, maybe his injuries. Maybe this is it. Maybe they went. You know, he's had too many injuries already. Is it worth, you know, cashing in on him now? And look what's happened. So maybe they sort of knew that it was going to happen sooner or later. So, who knows?
And that's the thing, you know, Hammerhead. because his injury came and it was unopposed. There was nothing that happened, was there? So he kind of just pulled up. So yeah, because performance wise, he was great for us. So they didn't get rid of him because he can't play football. So yeah, I hope not.
You always look at that, Titch. You know what I mean? When you look at the likes of Arsenal, right, who have got a big scouting network and everything else, and they go and buy that Ben White for 50 million, yet Zuma's sitting there off the road at Chelsea, and they didn't go near him. And what do they know that we don't? And I always feel that, even when we bought Andy Carroll, right, 15 million, and they lost a shitload of money on him, didn't they?
On who, sorry?
On Andy Carroll. When Liverpool
yeah.
I mean, it cost them a lot of money, Carroll. But yet we got him a bargain 15 million or whatever.
They paid 35 for him, I think.
And all of a sudden, he spent 3 years fucking injured.
No, exactly. It's true.
What do they know that we don't?
Right.
I always worry about getting players like that from the big club.
Danny says Lingard, Schick and Coletta Carr. I keep hearing this Coletta Carr, but I think he plays for Marseille. I've always said, I'm not that guy to be, looking around Europe and who we're interested. That's not me. So I've heard about this guy, and he's a centre back, and Schick, obviously, Czech Republic striker, who is proven as well, and so Lingard, yes, Schick, yes, and Coletta Carr, I don't know nothing about him, but we do need Danny a centre back.
What wouldn't surprise me either, Titch, is if we did bring 3 players in January, it could be 3 players we've not even looked at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that wouldn't surprise me either.
Hammerhead says, Budgie, Jesus, sorry, Kieran, Jesus is worth more than 39, double 39 million, mate. We'll have no chance. Hammerhead says, Holzek. Budgie says, what's unrealistic? Jesus is not a regular star at City. Zuma had a bad almost career and an injury not even 2 years ago, and he jumped and landed on one leg and it bent backwards. Jeez. Kimmy says, fuck, my phone keeps dying. Don't worry, Kimmy. You know what's going on, Kimmy? Yeah? And I'm glad that we can sort of change the subject. You're going through something in life now that you just got to, it's a little bump in the road, your phone and that fucking little scumbag guy and all of that, but you'll come through it and then there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Trust me. So don't worry. Things will happen. Little minor things like your phone dying and all that. And then after that, everything's going to be good. Trust me. These ways a lot for City. We need a lot more than 39 million. Right. Charlie says Zuma's always had some injuries, never consistently terrible though. This is probably the second biggest in his career, and after the cruise shit he did a couple of years back. I'm just. I agree, Titch. In January we need Premier League tested players. Yeah, I would like to see some known quantities coming in, man. Much love, you're seriously, I don't give a fuck. Half of my phone down, still with you. Yeah, and vice versa, man. I'm glad you're here. And soon as you're not present in a comment, I think, what's going on with Kimmy? So obviously it's your phone dying, but right, I'm going to change the subject. Agree, Charlie Zuma's on his injuries. Right, let me try and change it from transfer talk or players. Wally, big up Wally. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Wally. All right, Kieran, I'm going to ask you. My birthday's January 20th. You're going to give me a private show. You damn skippy. I'm going to invite you into StreamYard. I'm going to create the graphics. It's all like sensual red lights and stuff. Kimmy, we going to party, girl. Wally, my man. No, Hammerhead. No. I brought it up. So you don't have to say sorry. I'm just saying now I'm going to change it. Because the reason why, Hammerhead, is I just want to, I want to try and just come with something different. So that's my fault, not yours. Hey, chef. So yeah, trust me. Kieran, I'm gonna, like I said, there's no guidance to this. Kieran, ask the audience a question, general, whatever. Yeah, what would you like to ask the people in the chat?
Hey, God. Who's the best looking geezer on YouTube?
I know Kimmy's gonna say she better.
If I get one vote, I'll be delighted.
Right, you lot better say Kieran. Kimmy better say me. Kimmy better say me, and everybody else better say Kieran. Yeah. you want to go?
No, if I'll tell you what, if you could go back to an era that you haven't experienced, which I've been lucky, I got to the FA Cup final in '80 and the League Cup final. Which one would it be? What would you like to go back and see? Would it be the '80 final? Would you like to go and watch England win the World Cup? Would you like to see the Cup Winners' Cup final? Which one? Especially for you, Titch. What one would you love to, that you were too young to see? What would you like to go back to?
Right. That's a good question. That's a really good question. And I'm glad you come out of it. Because like I said, I don't want to be on here silence crickets and that. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Cieran, yeah? Completely honest. I would just go back to 85, 86. Like, we didn't win anything. But me personally, that was very significant for me. And like I said, in the school report and, name the things that you like. I mentioned Mark Ward, Frank McAvenny, Tony Cottee. So clearly, this era had an impact on me. So me personally, we didn't win anything. And it's just like you said, with all the West Ham fans that have, taken on West Ham from America and beyond, it wasn't about winning stuff. It is about the love of the club. So for me personally, it would be 85, 86. But I would like to know what people in the chat, what era would you want to go back to? And Cieran, before they answer, what era would you want to go back to?
Because I've been to the, and seen them eras, I'd still love to go back to them all again. Like you said, that season, 85, 86, we were happy fans for the whole season, apart from the beginning. We were happy fans. And, but if I could, because I've been there, I'd like to do something I haven't seen, and I'd love to have been at that World Cup final. I was only 5 then. I was 5 when I won the World Cup. I'd love to have seen that. Can you imagine being at that final for that? Wow.
Exactly.
I was watching Jeff First and Bobby Moore, Martin Peters. And we scored all the goals, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We scored all the goals. Like, we lifted the trophy. What more do you want, man? And that would be a special day.
You know what, Cieran, actually, I'm not going to change what I said, but a close second for me would be, which something I didn't experience, was the 1980 FA Cup final. I would love to have been, conscious of that event, like West Ham lifting the FA Cup, because I haven't I haven't witnessed that. I've had no acknowledgement of that. So that would be, actually, that 1980 FA Cup final. That would be my, if I could be put back there, that would be for me. Like,
I think as well, sort of people forget this. That was the old Wembley, right? And like it was the old Upton Park. It weren't all seater. It was standing, and all you were packed in like sardines in there, right? And it just gives the atmosphere so much more when everyone's swaying about and moving. When the goal went in, I mean, you ended up 20 rows further down when you stop celebrating. Things like that.
How many people was at that game? Like, how many attended that game?
I think it was over 90, because it used to be 100,000. I think it used to be 100,000 capacity. So I think we were close to it. But I never looked back at that. But it was packed, so I can imagine it was close to the 100.
So where was Arsenal in the league, and where were we when that final was played?
We were in the second division, mate.
Yeah. And where was we in the second division? Like second, was we?
I think we were only mid-table, something like that.
Wow.
Maybe 8th, yeah. I mean, they were red-hot favourites. You've got to remember that. They hell of a team. But we had a good team. We had a bit like today's team, all working for each other. Yeah. Getting into it. It was a good side, man. And we had John Lyall, who was
John. He's the first manager.
One of the best managers around at the time. So we got lucky.
All right, so that season, did we go up that season? No, we couldn't have done. If we was mid-table, no, obviously not. That's May. So that's crazy.
I think we went up the season afterwards. I think the next season we might have got promoted. Like, we got to the League Cup final as well. So maybe it was the next season. Did we do both? I can't remember now. Did we do both the next season? I'm not sure. But that was another good day.
Right, so Hammerhead may be the best looking guy on YouTube, but we don't know what you look like. So it's got to be Cieran. Cieran wins. Let's see. Wally said Cieran. Budgie said, I only have one vote. Yeah, it's definitely got to be Budgie. 75 cup final. Ooh. Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, let's touch on this. You lot, I don't want to be too far behind the comments, but 75 cup final. Who was that against, Cieran?
Fulham.
And the score was?
And 2-0. Alan
Who
Taylor
scored?
Alan Taylor scored both goals.
So, okay, no, you didn't go to that game, did you?
No, I didn't for some reason. That's when I started going to all the West Ham games. I got a feeling I couldn't get a ticket for that final, and that's why I didn't go. I was only 14 at the time, and I couldn't get a ticket, I don't think, and that's why I didn't go. But yeah, Alan Taylor was a phenomenon that year. He had a great season. I think he scored nearly 2 goals in every FA Cup game he played, something like that. He was scoring. I was at the game where I think we knocked Arsenal out that year as well. I was at Highbury when we done that. So it was Bobby Moore was playing for Fulham.
Wow.
He just left West Ham, playing for Fulham, and we got to the final, which was a shame for him. Billy Bonds picked up the trophy as well instead of Bobby Moore.
All right, so I'm going to get back to what you just said there. Let me get to the comment, and I'm going to go back to what you just said. You give me a good question to ask. Has to be Charlie, best looking guy on YouTube. It's got to be the World Cup for me, for Danny. Hammer says the 60s. Just to see England win the World Cup. No, Budgie. Not Budgie. Hammer, just to see West Ham win the World Cup, my friend. I'll go back to the 1980 to the 86 period. My best West Ham memories. Yeah, I think for me, like I said, is 85, 86, but then I would like to have, Fulham and Bobby Moore was playing Fulham in the 75, Wally says. Right, so, this one I'm going to ask you. Why did Bobby Moore leave West Ham, and what was the, the fans' feeling or reaction to him going to, why did he go to Fulham, basically, from us? Let me get rid of this.
I don't know, mate. I don't think Bobby Moore was ever appreciated by the ownership at West Ham. Never.
Wow.
There's a story that and I don't know if this is 100% true, but I was told this story by someone in the game at the time, that when that 66 World Cup came out, right, Bobby Moore was out of contract with West Ham.
Right.
And if you to be picked in the England team, you had to be contracted to a club. Otherwise you couldn't be picked. Right? So Alf Ramsey apparently got on the phone to Ron Greenwood and said, sort it out, for fuck's sake, he's my captain in the England side. Will you get him a contract? Because obviously it had broken down. That Bobby Moore wanted probably £2 a week more, and they weren't going to pay it, West Ham. Unbelievably. Bobby Moore. It was always like that. There was always stories like that they just didn't appreciate him as much as they should. And they reckon Ron Greenwood did get the contract sorted, and he did sign another one for West Ham. This is in 65, 66. And he went on to play for England. If he hadn't done, he wouldn't have been able to be picked. So whether that story's true, but I'm not 100% sure. But it wouldn't surprise me. Because even then, when he left, I think he was just a bit disillusioned with the ownership at West Ham. He didn't seem to appreciate him. And even when he retired, nobody gave him the respect or a job in football that he deserved. I don't know what it was with him, but he was never appreciated as much as he should be. West Ham treated him badly. What I don't get,
and this is why I love what we're doing right now, is because, when I hear Bobby Moore, everybody, it seems like, listen, this guy was like a god on the football pitch. Now you're saying that he wasn't appreciated. So how was he the England captain? And how comes he left West Ham to go to someone like as small as Fulham? Like, no disrespect. Like, why did he not go to a...
Everyone in the world appreciated him more than West Ham did. Not talking about the fans, but the ownership of West Ham.
Yeah.
Everyone did. Franz Beckenbauer. Oh, you go through the list, the plaudits that he used to get. What a player he was, right? But they never seemed to appreciate it at West Ham, and they never gave him the money he deserved or the contract he should have got. So he ended up fucking walking away and going to Fulham. They bought him. Can't even remember. But he was everybody's hero at West Ham in the 60s. But you'd have to ask the people in charge why. Did they think he was too greedy? Did they, what was greedy? And they weren't on that much money then. They were. I think the average wage, say in the 60s, was probably 4 to 5 times your average wage of a working man for a footballer, which rose exponentially after that. Obviously, it went mental. But in the early 60s, I think that if you were on, 20 quid a week, they were getting 120 quid a week, something like that.
Yeah.
It weren't ridiculous like it is now. But they wouldn't pay him what he was worth.
When he went to Fulham, was he still in his prime or he was on a decline? And
no.
Why did he go to Fulham? Like, of all clubs, why Fulham?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they must have had the money and wanted him. I don't know. I can't remember that actual incident why he went to them, but maybe they just paid him what he wanted. But he was near the end of his career. That's got to be said too. He was near the end of his career. But probably more than that. Can you imagine? Look, as much as we love Mark Noble, everyone's saying Mark Noble is a legend. He should be, and the next coach for England, and then groomed to be the next manager. There was none of that for Bobby Moore.
Yeah.
None of that more. Running that football club thought that of Bobby Moore. Why? Yeah. I don't know. Of course he should have been. Now, as much as we all love Noble, he can't fucking lace Bobby Moore's boots. You know what I mean? He's nowhere near the player this boy was. Nowhere near the stature. But just the way it was then.
Just talking about Mark Noble, I've always been not his biggest fan. I think the last season at Upton Park, he had a solid season. I think he was really good in that season, but I've never been his biggest fan.
No.
But going back to what you just said, is that it's funny how some people are maybe overappreciated, and some people that this guy was the only time we've won the World Cup, he was the captain. Do you understand? And the fact that you're saying, like, because I didn't know this, that the owners didn't respect him as much as everybody else. It's sad to hear, because this guy is obviously he's a legend around the world for the role he played.
He lifted was it the Cup Winners' Cup as well for West Ham in 65, right? So
that's the last European trophy we've lifted.
Yeah, that into Toto bollocks.
No, forget that.
That counts. But yeah, that was it. He done. You can imagine him. He went to Wembley and won the Cup Winners' Cup, right? And then he went the next year for England and won the World Cup. You know what I mean? And we won the FA Cup back then as well. He went 3 times and they were all at Wembley. All them finals were at Wembley.
And he won all of them as captain.
As captain, yeah.
That's crazy. Right, Stu MC. Thank you for joining. I don't know, like, it's the first time I've seen your name, but thank you for joining and thank you for commenting. Right, Stu MC says, Bobby Moore was a brilliant player, no ego. Nowadays, they glorify Declan Rice, a basement battler who exposed his centre-halves for 2 seasons. Suddenly, Souček arrives and he's worth 100 mil. Cieran, you want to respond to that?
What, about Souček or Rice?
About the whole...
Well, look, now, Rice, you can see he has the potential to be a world-class player. I don't think he's there yet. I think he's going to become it. Souček, no. The reason we've got Souček is because he's not good enough for Man City and Liverpool or Chelsea. But that's why we've got him. And he is a good player. But he'll always be that a good player, get you odd few goals, and his passing's pretty average. And that's why he won't progress to a top club like that. He'll always be somewhere below that lot, which is fine because that's what we are. West Ham, got to remember, we aren't a top 4 club. We're a club trying to stay in the top 6. He's where he should be, and that's at West Ham. And as much as I mean, he's great. He's great for us, but can't see Souček ever getting past or better than us. Say Man City, Chelsea. He's not on Man United. He's never going to be good enough for them, I don't think. Where Declan Rice is going to be good enough, if not already, any of them.
Yeah. No, he's definitely... All right, let me see what Danny says. Danny said, how Moore wound up playing for some team in San Antonio. I can't wrap my head around. Yeah, how did that happen, Cieran?
Oh, he ended up going, but there was a big push there in America to promote the sport, soccer, right, at the time. And they all went there. And loads of them went there. I think George Best went there. Bobby Moore went there. They were paying the bucks, mate. They were paying the money to promote the league. There was a load of big top-name foreign players went there too. So that's what was happening. America were trying to boost the image of soccer in America. And they were using the big names, even though they're near the end of their careers and all that, to promote it. So that's what they did.
Did Pele and Bobby Moore play in America at the same time, or or not?
I think they might have done. I'm not 100% sure that's it, but they might. I'm not sure. Can't say that for sure. They might have done.
Right, let me get to the comments. Right, so Howard says Bobby Moore's old house is up the road from me.
Oh right.
Wow. Oh yeah, gentlemen, big up Reese. Reese is in the house. And then Lawrence has said Reese is in the house. Pele went to New York Cosmos.
Yeah.
Larry. Babyface. Budgie. Okay, right. Now that we're here, I'm doing a watch along tomorrow. So, what are you? Because Cieran, what I like about you is you seem to be most of the time on the same page as me in regards to not being too optimistic, and I think being more realistic about just the bigger picture. COVID permitting, I don't know what's going to happen but I'm saying, as far as we know, the game's on. What are you realistically thinking is going to happen tomorrow? Then your score prediction. But I mean, how do you think the game's going to go tomorrow against Southampton?
Oh, I think it's going to be another tough one, mate. And I think, it's hard. When you'd like to see the team sheet first before you predict anything. Because you just don't know what the team's going to be, what we're putting out there. And we've lost Cresswell now for a while, haven't we?
Is he out?
I've heard he's shipped a bone in his back or his coccyx or something, and he could be out for the next 6 weeks. It could be out.
I didn't know that.
Fucking Christ. So you've got no Cresswell, right? You've got no Zuma, you've got no Bonner. We've got Johnson, Ashby, Fredericks, maybe. I think it's catching up with these injuries, right? And when you think we won one game in 6, it's ever since Ogbonna went down, right? It's ever since that. We've had one good game since he went out. And we can also, even the Tottenham game, the boys apparently, everyone from the highlights I've seen ever, Dawson and Diop had a good game. They played pretty well, but they still conceded 2 goals and we lost.
Yeah.
And there's the difference.
That's the difference, exactly.
So that takes away that attacking threat with Cresswell. You're relying on Masuaku to do it, but then you've got Masuaku's frailties in defending. Because both of them games come from that left side, didn't they?
Yeah.
And you go, fuck. Southampton now is a really, really tough. If a month ago, I'd say, we'll go there and we'll stick 2 or 3 past. Not a problem. Now, I think it's going to be really tough for us to score goals. Antonio, why didn't he play the other day? What's the reason for that?
Exactly. Yeah.
Is he out? Is he COVIDed up? Is he out for the next?
No.
Is he out for the next after? So, and we don't have the depth. So, to me, we really are putting out a sort of second string side in many respects, especially in defence. So it's going to be a bloody tough game. I don't think there's going to be a lot in it. I don't think we'll concede much, but we probably will concede 1. So we need to score a couple of goals in this game. And, we've only scored 2 goals. Even the games we've won, right? The Chelsea and Liverpool game, 2 brilliant victories. But we've had to score 3 goals to win these games.
Exactly.
If we wanted to beat Tottenham the other night, we'd have had to score 3 goals.
3 goals.
You can't keep doing that. You can't keep letting 2 goals in and winning. That just can't happen. So we've got to be tight, man. We've got to stop goals coming in and try and nick games 1-0 at the moment until we can get players back or until we bring players in. We've just got to try and be defensively tight and try and nick games. And I think that's what we're going to see over this Christmas period. Games like that it ain't going to be that entertaining. We're not going to be that great, but we've got to try and nick them.
So what's your score prediction? If I know you don't know the starting lineup, but if you if you had to,
I'd like to think we can hold out because, like I said, Dawson Diop can do a job for you, and I think we could grab it 1-0.
1-0, yeah.
No, fuck it. We're gonna have a clean sheet for a change. Fuck it. Yeah, 1-0. We're gonna win it 1-0.
All right. Lawrence, sorry, I had it on the screen. Lawrence says 3-1 to the West Ham. I hope so, because then there's a little bit of a cushion there. Yes, Wally, you know what? I'll say this again. I said on a stream that Soufal would be suspended for a Premier League game, which is what I always believed it was. But, he was, thankfully, he was suspended for the...
He'll be back, you're right.
Yeah, I just thought that because it was Premier League, and, I stand corrected. And I've already said that, but I'm glad that... he could play. We can play now. Danny says, I'm going 2-1 Hammers, and I think that's being optimistic. Yeah, see, Danny, you sound very realistic, man, because I'm kind of thinking 2-1 as well, but I don't know. There's no easy games in the Premier League, and without injuries and form. You know what? We look decent against Spurs, though, and better than I anticipated. I was worried going into that game, and, I'd done a watch-along, and we actually looked all right, and I feel that Lanzini was at fault for both goals, but I think that we looked good, and the fact that Bowen was the striker, and I've been calling for that to happen for a long time, is I think Moyes should stick with that. He's got more about him as a striker than Antonio has, and I think that even if you put Antonio as the winger, like Antonio, as it stands now, is better out wide. Look at him against Chelsea. He played well. He set up Bowen for almost a chance and all that. So I just think just switch them over, because Bowen has got he will use his right foot to good effect, and he's got more mobility about him. I think as a striker, he's got more about him as a central player.
I think at this moment in time, for sure.
Yeah. Reese says 9-0, but in all seriousness 2-0. Reese, I would love a clean sheet. If we can get a clean sheet, it's like that sends confidence throughout everybody. That, look, we've got all these injuries, especially in our defence, but we've got a clean sheet. So we need a clean sheet at some point. Budgie says, I'm saying 1-0 Southampton, first half, 3-1 West Ham full time. Oh, I couldn't see that happen. I couldn't see us being 1-0 down at half time and then winning 3-1. I'll take 3-1, but I couldn't see, Budgie, that happening. Us being 1-0 down at half time and then going on to win 3-1. If that comes correct, then that's a big prediction. I enjoyed the match. Both teams were going for it. Yeah, Spurs. That was a good game. And like I said, I've done a watch along, and I was thinking, shit, man, I'm doing a watch along, and we're gonna get smoked. And we actually done it right, man. So you can't win them all, but at least go down fighting. I think Moyes should have made his subs a bit earlier, but other than that, I think we put in a good performance. Right, what was I going to say? Where's Kimmy? Kimmy, where are you? Kimmy, Charlie commented, what are you lot saying about the graphics? Do we like what's going on here? Okay, Josiah, big up Josiah. I can see Josiah, I haven't seen him 1 second. Let me go to Lawrence. Lawrence said, I've said it all along, put Antonio back on the wing. Yes, and I have to confirm that you have definitely been banging that drum, Lawrence. And it makes sense. Josiah says, big up Josiah, by the way. Glad you tuned in as well, my brother. 5-0 West Ham. Josiah, if we get a 5-0 West Ham, I'm going to send you. I've got 4 of the hats that I gave in the giveaway, but I've still got 4 left. So if we get 5-0, I will send you one. Without no giveaway, I'm just going to send you a hat. Trust me. Right. By the way, gentlemen, I hope you all had a look at chat and hosts. Thank you, Reese. I hope you did as well. Like I said, I'll say it again, I'm not really a Christmassy person, but I appreciate that a lot of people are, and I hope you lot had a great Christmas. Big up Atomic Gamer, Costa, my boy. Hola. How you doing, Costa? Let me just remove this spammer. Boom. Lawrence says, Merry Christmas, Reese. Right, so I'll say it again, you lot. Everybody's welcome to take part in this type of show. Me plus one. I really hope to get Cieran on here, weekly or fortnightly. There's no commitment, but I'm saying like, yeah, this type of thing is open to everybody. And you know, on YouTube you have to go live more so far I've only gone live for the watch alongs and then the player rating. So sorry, now that we're here, Cieran, you tuned into Guess Who, didn't you? You watched it after. Yeah, and you said that you weren't great at it, was you?
Said I was rubbish. I would have got a couple. I did.
Yeah.
I think as well. Do you know? I sort of noticed that. You know, when you put the picture up, I don't know whether it's the delay or whatever, but people were answering before I got to see it. So obviously people must get it just a bit in front of me by a few seconds, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe. But
all right.
That's no excuse. That's no excuse. You still got it wrong.
Cieran, I don't know if you're aware, but a new game show is coming out on Wednesday as well. So it'll be Tuesday, 12 p.m, which is, what time is that for you? Like 7 in the morning or something? I don't even know.
12 p.m. That's 10 in the evening if you do it midday.
All right. And then on Wednesday, same time, I've come up with a new concept called Initial Thoughts, right? And we can speak about that now, people here. So Initial Thoughts. You know what I'm going to do, Cieran? I'm going to... Let me change the graphics. And then I can give you a brief explanation of this. I told you lot, I'm taking YouTube a bit more serious, and you know, I've got ideas for days. Let me boom let me go here, and then let me, I think we can remove this. I think, one sec, Cieran. Let's go here. Here we go. Right, so now that we're here, we can speak about this. I'm going to get back to the comments after you. Look. Right, so, initial thoughts. Cieran, looking at the phonetic alphabet and the name of the title, what would you think this game show would be about?
Initial thoughts?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I don't know. My initial thought of a player that you suggested we sign?
Right, so it's a lot easier than that. So basically, I will put in the brand like, I don't know, 30 or 40 players. Now watch this. This is so for instance, let's say the player, I'm going to say someone that don't play anymore. Let's say it was Steven Gerrard, yeah? I might say, just to confuse people a little bit, we'll go to the phonetic alphabet, which you can see it on the screen, yeah? So for Steven Gerrard, phonetically that would be Sierra Golf, but I could also say Golf Sierra. So now that's their initials. You've got to work out, is it GS or SG for Steven Gerrard, and then you can flood the comments with who you think that Premier League player is. The first person to get it right gets a point. We move on. So just to make it a little bit more interesting, it won't be like I said, Steven Gerrard, we won't say Sierra Golf. We might do, but we might say Golf Sierra, just so it's either GS or SG. And then now you look, just flood the comments. Unlike Guess Who, it's not one guess per round. This one here, you can just flood. Whoever gets it right, we move on. Simple. So initial thoughts is the player's initials. Very, very simple concepts. And just like Guess Who, we will create a league table and point scoring system and all of that. So yeah, you get that now, Cieran, obviously, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, you know what I'm going to do, you lot? We'll do a little, I'm not going to use players that I've already put in there. We'll do one now. We'll do a little tester, right? So you lot, please, in the chat, if you're still there, thank you for still being there. I know it's been a long stream. We'll probably go to 2 hours. We've got about 12 minutes. Right, so I'm going to think of someone now. I won't cheat. I'm going to think of a Premier League player that I haven't already put in the stream for the show on Wednesday. One second. Okay, you ready? This is an easy one. Easy. Alpha. Let's go. In the comments, Peter, that's easy. Like, you can't mix that up. Alpha. People in the comments, which player in the Premier League, their initials are AA. Alpha. Yes, Reese, it is Areola. Oh, Danny got it first. Okay, see, that was an easy one. All right, you look good. That was
I didn't
easy.
know what Areola's first name was.
Ah, Alphonse. Okay.
It's Alphonse.
Right.
Now I do.
Look how quick that was. So Danny would get a point for that. Look how quick and easy it is. Right, I'm going to think of a harder one, you lot, just to see, 1 second. I'm just going to pick. Remember, it's Premier League as well. I gave you lot the easiest one, I think. West Ham and double initials. Right, let me go to... I'm trying to think of people that I haven't put in there. Okay. Squad. Let's go to... Okay. Right, here we go. Ready?
Pressure.
Romeo Hotel.
Not
People in the
Ronaldo.
chat. Romeo Hotel. Remember, it might not necessarily be in the right order. So it could be Hotel Romeo. Budgie says Adam Armstrong. Oh yeah, forgot about that. In future. Romeo Hotel. This is a good one because obviously it won't just be West Ham and it won't be double initials. So yeah, basically while we're putting it in, that's the basic concept of this show. Initial thoughts. Easy but not easy, obviously, because then it's...
Can't think of anyone. I only think of Harry Kane. That's good.
Hey, what's he? HK. So he's Hotel Kilo. What did I say? Hotel Romeo. Or did I say Romeo Hotel? Richard Hatch. Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Nope. Whoever gets this, you are Henri. No. And that's another thing. You can just say one of their names. So, what I'm going to do, It's from a London club. It's from a London club. I wouldn't do this when we actually do the show, but this is just for fun. He's from a London club. So that narrows it down. What did I say? I said
names. Hector. Hugo.
Hotel Romeo, but it might be Romeo Hotel. That's that makes it a little bit harder. So yeah, while you lot are thinking, Initial Thoughts is on Wednesdays 12 p.m. UK, and Guess Who is on 12 p.m. Tuesdays UK. Rico Henry. Oh no, it's not him, Budgie. But that's a good shot. See? Yeah, there's always going to be it's not him. But what did I say? Okay. So, but I reckon Budgie will get it because I didn't. Yeah, I picked. Who did I pick? Okay. He plays. You know what? I'm going to tell you. He plays for one of the North London clubs, right? And I'm only doing this because it's just for fun. It's a little trial, but yeah, he plays for one of the North London clubs. Hotel Romeo. I've even put a phonetic alphabet, or if you're a Scouser, the police language at the bottom of the screen. Buck, look at Lawrence. Buck naked. Where is that? Go back on the screen. Oh, Lawrence. Like I said, I done my research on. Lawrence is originally from. Baltimore, and Baltimore have their own language. Oh, shit, disabled team. I thought you'd gone. Good night, Stuart. Thank you for joining, for taking part, and we will speak soon. Anybody's not subscribed, disabled team, go and subscribe, please. But yeah, I love these guys, man. Seriously, a lot of respect for the disabled team. I'll see you next time, disabled team, Stuart. What was I saying? Cieran?
I've gone blank. I can't think of anyone.
You lot, North London is from Arsenal or Spurs, basically. Romeo Hotel was the initials, but it could be Hotel Romeo. No, I said Hotel Romeo, didn't I? What's he laughing at? What is? Shit! I was going to say something. I was saying something, wasn't I?
I was thinking.
Come on, Budgie. Come on, Cieran.
Can't think of no one.
He's English, and he's from one of the North London teams. Like I said, when we do this as a competitive Scouse alphabet, yeah, exactly. Oh, sorry, yeah. Reese. Yes, Eamon, it's Rob Holding. So, Eamon, well done. I said Hotel Romeo, because obviously I put his initials back to front, just to make it a little bit harder. But yeah, it's Rob Holding. That's who that's who it was, Eamon.
I didn't think you were going to put shit players in
Yeah,
there.
yeah. You know what? So yeah, that's very simple concept. But this is not simple because now it could be. You might be thinking of Rob Holding, but actually it might be HR. So
yeah,
but yeah,
I couldn't get Harry out my bloody head. Harry, Harry Kane, Harry Maguire. No, that's not right.
So Cieran, can you take part in any shows or you at work? What time do you? No, 10 o'clock. So maybe sometimes you might be able to.
I should be right. Yeah, get to it. Yeah.
Did you see the picture of me as a toddler that Cam thought was Diego Maradona?
There is a similarity there, isn't there?
You know what? When he said that, I thought but I thought, you know what? That's my best player ever. I'll take it. You know what?
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Mate, wouldn't it? Yeah,
I'll
I
take
curly
it.
looked like that too.
Did you?
Yeah. Unbelievably so.
So yeah, whoever didn't take part in Guess Who, I'm just gonna put my Tuesdays 12 p.m. UK time, and once again, that's me as a toddler. You can tell by the dimples, but I'm saying the right one is very, very deep.
Could you got there, mate.
Did you hear the story? Did I tell the story? So you lot, when I was at primary school, they used to nominate me for all the singing and all the Christmas carol, all the plays. It was me, and I was quite shy as a kid. But when I started singing, I was fine. But I was very, very shy in day-to-day life. We done a play at school, and the play was like one part of it was we sung, the song "Brown Girl in the Ring," and at the time there was 3 mixed race girls that was my age in my school taking part in the play, but my primary school decided that I would be the brown girl in the ring, and these brown girls would be taking part, and they're part of the dancing around me, but because my hair was like that, they put me as the brown girl in the ring, even though we had 3 real brown girls taking part in the play. Yeah,
brilliant. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
you know what the funny thing is though? When we grew up in that, and because I got a lot of brothers, and people say, "Oh, you was the brown girl in the ring." Nah, man, that's my brother. No, it was you. Like, we know it was you, but
it's strange that because when I was really young, and I did have really curly blonde locks, right?
Yeah.
And when I was 5 or 6, people thought I was a girl. And I had really long eyelashes, really long black eyelashes. Yeah. And everyone thought I was a girl. I think the dress didn't help, but...
Yeah. I'm going to tell you a real story, yeah? Not a story, but this is the truth, right? And this is why, right, I was called Titch, obviously, because I was very, very small. I didn't grow until I was about 17. I had a little bit of a growth spurt. I was tiny. Anyway, Cieran, when you used to get on a bus and pay whatever money it was, up until the age of 4, it was free. You could get on for a bus for free, right? I was getting on the bus at 11 and 12 with my mum for free. So that shows you how small I was. Yeah. When I started secondary school, I was a size 13 shoe. Like the little 13. My son, who is 9, he's like a size 3 already. So it just shows you, I was tiny. Budgie put hardly remembered. Nice. Oh, look at this. Titch has a good voice. Sing Pretty Bubbles. Okay. And this photo on the wall is Alex Carl's barber. Right, let me take that away. Let me go. Right, we've got a couple minutes. Reese, I was still getting away with kids to get 18. Cieran, right, we're going to finish in a minute. Do you want to sing a version of Bubbles? And then I think I might do. I don't. Let me get rid of that. Let's go back to what we are doing. Can we talk? Can you sing, Cieran?
No, badly, but I'll do it.
Go on, Cieran.
Do it badly.
Yeah.
When we were at away games and that, when it was freezing cold and the game was boring and really crap, you were standing on the terraces freezing. I remember being at Blackburn once. It ended up being a 0-0 with one of the worst sporting games we've ever seen. But I always liked when we done the bubbles to Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, because it got everyone going and it'd go on for 20 minutes and it'd actually warm you up because you'd be standing.
Yeah.
I'm for ever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the day fly, oh so high, like my dreams they fade, and I have fortunes always hiding. I've looked everywhere. I'm forever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the air. I'm forever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the air, pretty bubbles, pretty bubbles, pretty bubbles, pretty. I'm forever, and then you just go on for half an hour and you felt lovely instead of freezing. That's it.
See, I love that. You know what, you lot? I won't sing bubbles, yeah. I was thinking of this the other day. I was gonna do a video and you know whatever. I'm gonna sing. And I always say a disclaimer, right? I'm not a singer. I don't claim to be a singer. I do like to sing, but I'm not a singer. I'm going to sing very short 3 versions of the national anthem, right? One is Harry Kane. One is your typical England fan. And one is the person that they pay to sing. Right? So we start with Harry Kane. That's Harry Kane, right? Then your typical. This is a Stella. God save our gracious Queen. Right, yeah. Then the opera singer. Wait, let me see this. Wait. God save our gracious Queen, God live our noble Queen, God save our Queen.
It's got soprano. It's got soprano.
3 versions, terribly sung, but yeah.
I tell you what, mate, I don't give a fuck whether you like that. I always listen to the anthems that I like, and that one I don't. I've never liked their anthems. It's fucking so boring.
Yeah, exactly.
Scotland have got one that gets you going a bit, don't they? Even the French
exactly.
have got that one. Yeah.
Cover your ears, people. Quickly says Budgie. Bravo, Cieran.
Thank you on it.
You guys are the best. Big up, Lawrence. Before we finish, I'll say, listen, you lot, this type of segment is open to everybody. And yeah, and it's not, you lot, see, we touched on a little bit of transfer or whatever, but yeah, it's not really about that. Someone mentioned Stella. Bravo. Yeah, this is just wow, Titch.
It's 11 o'clock in the morning and it'd be, What's going on?
No, you're slacking, mate.
Right,
Cieran, I'm gonna let you, like, I'm so thankful that you came on. It's, it's Christmas, and it was, for me, it was like, yeah, like, I've done all what I've done in the kitchen and all that. It's like, yeah, I was actually, yeah, let me go online. Me and Cieran can have a chat, and yeah, I'm glad that you was available. And like I said, we can always revisit this, because I like to, you've given me some information on players that I didn't really know, and eras and stuff like that, which I love to learn.
I'll tell you what I will do.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody that joined. Cieran will be back in a minute.
Away, I'm just going to say Merry Christmas to everyone, and cheers.
Victor, is that an Australian beer?
It is Victorian bitter, but it's not really a bitter. It is a lager, but they call it Victorian bitter. It's quite a famous beer in Australia. But yeah, I'll tell you, before how different you see players and games before you get to really going mental as a West Ham fan, When I think about my days of, from 6 to about 14, I really started travelling all over West Ham. The players that you used to admire were from all teams. And then you get a bit one-eyed after, you get a bit tribal, don't you? You only care about West Ham. So people like Stan Bowles and George Best and Rodney Marsh, mate. Rodney Marsh at the QPR, and oh man, there's so many great players you could admire back then. And it's a shame TDD's gone out. You see that Leeds team at the time with Norman Hunter and Alan Clark.
Mortimer? No, Lorimer. Was Lorimer playing for them?
Yeah, Lorimer. What a player, man. What's a team that was? Jack
Didn't
Charles.
Leeds have a... I know Chelsea had one. Didn't Leeds have a hatchet man? He was labelled a hatchet man. Who was the hatchet man for Chelsea? Was
Was
who's
that
a hatchet
Peter
man for
Osgood?
Peter Osgood? But who didn't Leeds have one? Didn't Leeds have a hatchet man?
I remember, I'm trying to remember. He had Alan Clark up front. I don't know if he was him, but I remember him being up front. Good player. They had some great players, mate. And it was a great. If you ever want to watch a cup final, I think it went to replays. Is the Leeds versus Chelsea back then in the 70s? I think it was. That was brutal. That was a brutal cup final. Unbelievable. I think it went to 2 or 3 games in the end.
Alan Clark. Okay, right.
Some finals. Some teams they had.
Right, Cieran, was Alan Clark... Oh, morning, Darren. We're probably going to be here for another 5 minutes, Darren, but thank you for joining. Was Alan Clark Leeds? Because Budgie's put Alan Clark hatchet man. Was he Leeds?
No, not a hatchet man. Alan Clark was a centre forward for Leeds.
Oh, he centre forward.
Then hatchet man was Norman Hunter. Because that's what. If you ever went at Leeds, come to West Ham, they'd have banners up where Norman Hunter bites your legs. He was like Billy Bonds, tough boy, man. That's when they were allowed to kick centre forwards, and Norman Hunter was known for it. And
So
at
Wally's-
Chelsea, they had Ron Harris.
Ron Harris, yeah. Ron Chopper Harris. Like, I don't know him, but I know that name. Ron Chopper Harris, yeah. I do. I've seen him as, when he stopped playing, like, just interviews and stuff. So, yeah, that name.
He was a tough boy.
Wally says, Rodney Marsh does a show on Sirius XM football channel called Grumpy Pundits. He is hilarious. Yeah, because he used to be on Soccer Saturday. He was on that for a good few years. And, yeah, like...
Yeah, I missed all that. Yeah, because I loved him, Rodney Marsh. He was just an entertainer. Real entertainer.
He played for City as well, innit?
Rodney Marsh, no, I can't remember.
Man City. He played Man City as well, didn't he?
Yeah. I think he did he end up at QPR or was it Fulham? Because George Best ended up at Fulham too. With Rodney Moore. I think it's either Stan Bowles or Rodney Marsh. Stan Bowles was at QPR. That's right. I think Stan Bowles was at QPR. What another one. Just off the charts. What a player. What a player, man! Just skill. I think it was Rodney Marsh and Stan Bowles, or was it? They started tackling each other. They're playing for the same team. They started tackling each other.
What?
Off each other.
What? They seriously give me the ball?
Yeah, trying to take the ball off each other. They were just such entertainers, man. It was brilliant. Yeah, great players.
Stan Bowles. That name's not familiar. I've heard it, but it's not familiar. Nah.
You look him up, mate. He was a character as well, mate. A real character. Him, Rodney Marsh, mate, were brilliant. Real characters.
So yeah, you lot. Like I said, thanks for tuning in, and thank you, Lawrence. Lawrence says hit the like button. I'm gonna be more active on YouTube, and I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and then bring it onto the camera. And I understand that there's bigger and better channels than me, and I just got to keep grinding. And I could have easily have maybe me and Cam or me and Davey, but I thought, what it's about for me. YouTube, you can see right here, I don't know if you see it, Cieran, I've put Cam's number 6, Davey number 8, Titch number 10, and here Neil Lanzini subscribers, or number 1 subscribers, because the subscribers is the most important thing on YouTube. And yeah, they definitely are.
Also, the people that tune in as well. There might be subscribers or they're not. If they're not subscribers, but you'd like them to tune in. And of course they're the most important. Anyone in that chat, mate, are the most important thing.
Right. And because of that,
I want to be number 2. I want to be number 2 because I was right back, right?
Okay, number 2. That's where I started. I started out as a right back, actually. Now, Cieran now he's not really a subscriber. He is part of, he's on camera now. But like I said, there's people in the comments. Lawrence comes on camera, and I'd love to have Lawrence on here. But there might be someone like Hammerhead, for instance, that I want to get people on here just to do exactly what Cieran's doing right now, which is just sitting, we're just talking, you know, comfortable. There's nothing uncomfortable about it. Yeah, like that's what I feel that for me personally, that's what I want my YouTube to be about. Oh, Cieran, this is what I'm going to ask you. Please, one from each team. Are you going to do this?
Yeah, I'm halfway through it. You know, I said once I finish that working away stuff, then I'll look down at it. And I've done it 2 days ago. I've got halfway through it. And I'm right, I'll do the rest in the next couple of days, and I'll give you the ahoy when I'm done.
I can't wait. And, you know, like I said, when I first done... No, sorry, I was using StreamYard. But now, like, so Cieran, I've made a new one from each team. So it's a bit more, you know, I've gone a little bit, you know, I'm more used to customizing this now. So where is the one? Where is it? Here we go. So now we have a, you know, one from each team. It's all like, yeah. So it won't be live. We'll do it as a pre-recorded. And then I'll download it and then I'll just add. But I've made it easier for me to in the post edit. So for instance, when you say West Ham, normally I'd put that behind you, but now I just do boom, West Ham, you say your player, and then when I edit it, I'll just bring that player through the badge. So yeah, I've just made everything more. Yeah, so yeah, you know what? With this new setup, I need you to be the first person on here. And I want you to be the first person on it, I should say.
In the next 3 days, mate, I'll have it.
That's good. There's no rush, but like I said, I'm going to wait. Now that you're saying, look, I'm doing it, I'm going to wait till you're available because I want you to be...
Yeah, I'll do it soon, man, because like I say, I'm halfway through it, but I'll probably go back and change half of that as well. Because
yeah, exactly.
It's frustrating when you go from team to shit, forgot that.
Yeah, now you got to...
Yeah, it gets you bloody thinking, boy. It really gets you thinking. Yeah. And that's the idea of it, isn't it?
Exactly, that is the idea. And you look, like I said, going back to what I said at the start of this, yeah, we're all West Ham, not everyone, you know, disabled team 8, and you know, my intentions was always to appeal to everybody, not just West Ham, and because of that is, you know, one from each team is, it's not just West Ham. And yeah, I don't want to be put in a box of just West Ham. And you lot can see I don't really follow what everybody else does. I kind of do my own thing, and I'm going to stick to that. 1 second. Hit the like button more.
I should really wait for the transfer window, and then
You can do. You can do. You can do. You know. No, Budgie. Not Budgie. Cieran, ain't no rush. I just wanted to know that you want to do it.
No,
I would. Yeah, you know what? You could wait. There's no rush at all. Like, see me like.
No, I'd rather do it. I'd rather do it now. I mean, all the others you've done have done it with this squad as well, haven't they? So I'd rather just do one that, everyone else has had to pick from and do that. That'll be fine.
But yeah, whenever or whatever you want to do, because remember the transfer window opens. When does it open? Is it January the 1st? Or if so, you might as well wait. Yeah. You might as well wait, because you might pick someone and then all of a sudden, even that, you might pick someone and he don't even play for that club anymore, so you can't. So if I was you, just wait. There's no rush, but now that you said you're doing it, I would make sure, rather than me you're going to be the next one, because it's a new setup, and I would like to get you as the first person in the new setup. Moore, Best and Marsh at Fulham, the dream team that didn't get anywhere. Oh, they all played together.
Yeah,
jeez.
That's right. Moore, Best and Rodney Marsh. Yeah, they all went to Fulham. You know, Bestie was really on the piss at that stage, and I think Rodney Marsh was a bit of a boy too. You know.
Yeah.
They were on the town, man. Them two boys. They were the first. I mean, George Best was the first superstar of football. In England, like he was a superstar, man. He was rock and roll. He was, and he was always up to no good. Right, he was always up the West End. He slept with about 3 Miss Worlds or something like that. Ridiculous, you know. Do you know? He even came to Australia, right, and played here. And a mate of mine, Russell, he was like he played for the Australian youth team here, and we played in the team here together. What a player he was! What a player! But when I used to go around his house, he came and he played for the Brisbane Lions at the time, the football team. Yeah, it was called the Brisbane Lions, and Russell played for them. And George Best turned up, and they all was, what? he come to play here. It was only for a few games, right? And he came in the dressing room, and George Best forgot to bring his boots. This is a story. He's telling me, I'm like, fuck off. He said, I'm telling you. And he brought me into, when I went to his house, he said, I'll show you this photo. Because Russell lent him his boots. They were the same size. He had about 3 or 4. He was sponsored, Russell, by whatever. And he gave him a pair of his boots. And he's got a photo of him handing the boots to George Best. Fucking brilliant photo, man. Him and George Best. And he's giving him his boots.
So are you still in contact with that Russell guy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. That's
I haven't
crazy.
talked to him for a couple of months now. But yeah, we're kicking it. He's moved down to the Gold Coast. He used to live around here. I don't see him that much as I used to. But yeah, he'd have some stories, mate. Hitch, I'll tell you. He could tell you some stories. Some player. Him and his brother. See, Russell, if he had wanted to make it, he would have done it.
Yeah.
Just wasn't that long. He didn't want to go to Europe. He didn't want to go to England. His brother did. His brother had played for teams in England as a pro. Didn't quite make the top grade, but I think Russell was a better player than his brother, naturally a better player. He just weren't that fussed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't push it. He just played here and that was it. He was happy with that. I think he could have played professional in England, no problem. Such a player, man.
There is players like that, that I've played with, and you think, like, you definitely could have played at the top. Yeah, I'd say top level, man. But yeah, they're just, sometimes the opportunity ensues. Like you said, some people, like, their priorities is not trying to train every day. They want to go out there and do what they want to do. But yeah, like, there's a lot of players that, nobody knows about that could have definitely made an impact in the professional game. And obviously this Russell guy sounds like those type of players.
Yeah, his name was Russell Stewart. And I think he went and played in one of the Youth World Cups for Australia.
Wow.
He might have been out in Brazil or whatever he was. Mexico or Brazil he went. I remember him telling stories about that. And they even went into a futsal competition as well around the world with us for Australia. He said he didn't realise how good the South Americans were till he played that futsal.
Yeah, exactly.
Him and another guy who played for us, he was with him on that trip, and he told me, mate, and this guy is a great player. We think this boy's got skill. Like, he said, nutmegged him 3 times before he knew. He pushed it through his leg, dragged it back, then went back and what the fuck? And he thought he was good. And he said, these guys are unbelievable.
Yeah, because
these Brazilians, man. He said,
and some of them, that's their thing. It is futsal. It's not, the orthodox football. It's futsal, which is not completely different, but it is completely different. Yeah, and they will embarrass you, man.
Skills they've got. He said, you just can't believe what they're doing to you. Fucking hell. It's not our game. Right, Reese has dropped me a text, Titch. I think he means for maybe comment on something like this. Definitely. Lawrence says, great graphics. Thank you. Like I said, going back to the graphics, last night, see me like you lot. I'm constantly just doing stuff, and when I came up with this, like all the time, like it's constant. Like my phone is literally, even when we finish here, I'm still gonna, and my phone is full up with images and even things like this. Yeah, you've got to put one in. Nope, that needs to be moved out. So I might have 20 versions of this, but it's only one that's actually the perfect version. You understand? So it's constant, and once I do something, or whilst I'm always onto something else. But yeah, I like this. I like this fact that it's got all the players and all of that. It's got like I bet you couldn't sit still in the classroom, yeah.
No, and that's the thing. No, I couldn't. I left school with no qualifications. Like, school wasn't for me. And even now, if like, for instance, like video editing, and we're speaking about this because we've just brought it out. I taught myself how to edit about a year and a half ago. The only reason why I'd done that is because what we do with the kids, people was like, I come up with this challenge the coaches concept, all fun, and all these people like, oh, it's gonna charge us this much. And when I was looking at what their edits, it was so shit, and I'm thinking, what is this, man? Like, I could do better than that, but I can't edit. So I downloaded all the editing apps. Nope. Delete, and then I went to iMovie, which is, it's free on the iPhones, and I learned how to get rid of, first of all, what you don't want, And then, so yeah, I literally taught myself only because I wasn't happy with what these people was producing and trying to charge us like, oh yeah, we're going to charge you this. And I've been editing for 20 years. I'm thinking all that is just is talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, so once I got into it and thought, you know what, like I was doing things with iMovie that physically it's not possible, but I was thinking clearly outside of the box. So
Well,
StreamYard now, yeah.
When you look at all the others, I think yours fucking surpasses anyone else's, I'd say.
Yeah, like
Any other West End YouTube channel, I think your set up and whatever you call it is fucking better than anyone. So,
yeah, and the thing is, Cieran, is that StreamYard, what I'm using, is very limited. You got to remember, when I came onto YouTube, it was video editing. I was filming myself. You know, if I use a green screen and all of that, I was making studios. The concept is easy, and because of that, I think I need to visually squeeze as much out. You know, like as much as I can squeeze out of it as possible. So that's why so you know, rather than be lazy and just go live and I think I need to make it look good, basically.
Even like when you're done the football unfocused, just a little bit of sticking the footballs in for the O's, you know.
Yeah.
That's simple, but it's clever.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah. Right.
So. Right, I missed the comments. Great graphics. Thank you, Lawrence. Sorry, that's why we spoke about it. You know what? I'm thinking, how did I get onto this? It's because Lawrence said that. Thank you, Lawrence. Lawrence says family. Sorry, I'm probably far behind now. One second. West Ham Random. Go on, boys. Thank you. Darren says, put me down as left back in the changing room. Budgie says, nice layout, Titch. Thank you. Peach says, first man things trust me. Yeah?
I'll tell you that when I first came to Australia and I signed for this Surfers Paradise and Polo, and mate, the standard I used to play, because I wouldn't play Saturday football at home because I wanted to go to West Ham all over the country, I never played at a higher standard, you know. I always just played Sunday football with me mates and enjoyed it, loved it. And we had a good side, don't get me wrong, but when I came to this side, mate, these were ex-pros, ex-semi-pros, and I'm like, my God, I went, shit. I had to step up some serious levels to you know, get a place in the team. And I did. I pushed myself, and I did get a place in the starting 11. Because we had two teams, you know, we had a reserve team and that's how it was set up on the Gold Coast. But I remember my claim to fame at that time was Southport, one of our big rivals. They bought a player from New Zealand who was a New Zealand international at that time, and where I was playing right back and sometimes left back when we switched, the coach there said, mate, his first game's against us on a Wednesday night. He said, you're coming out of the back. I want you to sit on his arse and stop him
in midfield.
In midfield. I said, he's a fucking New Zealand international. Are you fucking kidding me? He said, I know you'll tackle anything. Just stop him playing. I went, right. And that's what I did. He stuck me in man to man, and he never kicked the ball. I had the best game I've ever played, I think. And we beat him 2-0, and he never touched the ball. And that's where I went, shit, I can't believe what I've just done. I've stopped New Zealand international playing football. And it weren't, and like I say, to be fair, it was his first game. He just arrived, and about 6 weeks later we played him again, and he didn't put me on him, and he ripped us to shreds.
Right. So why did he not go back to what he just done?
I don't know. He just thought, nah, he must have thought he ain't that good. He done nothing in the last game.
See, and
he didn't bother doing it again, and we got sorted to pieces by him. He was brilliant.
See you later, Budgie. So that shows your qualities, and your manager messed up.
Well, I think he did. I think he should have gone for it again. But like I said, he'd settled in by then. It might have been a different result. We'll never know.
You never know. But yeah, you lot, I said, listen, this was meant to end about 24 minutes ago, but it's good conversation. No, it's not a problem. It's good conversation. And, you know, I'm glad Cieran, that you are coming to do the one from each team. I would say maybe wait until the transfer window, only because some of the players you pick might well move on and whatnot. So, one second. What does it say? Did Titch just call Peach going live Lazzy? Bless us, still love you. Did Titch just call Peach going live Lazzy? I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Did Titch just call Peach going live Lazzy? Lazy? No. No.
Shut up.
Nah. Oh, lazy. No. No. What did I say? I said, remember, I said I came onto YouTube like editing. Remember, I didn't know nothing about StreamYard, and I didn't know about this. I had no ways of doing what we're doing now, Cieran. So I had to like film, edit. Now, like I said, now I'm using StreamYard more, but for me, I don't want to. Yeah, I need to keep sharpening my tools basically. So because it's not editing per se, I have to work on the graphics. Do you understand? Because I'm not editing. I'm just literally, there's no editing for this. This is about the graphics. So yeah, like I didn't want to just stop being creative basically.
I know how to press the link. That's it.
Yeah. So yeah.
Press the link and turn up. That's me.
Yeah, so that's what. Yeah, so sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant. So I didn't want to, for me, become lazy. For me personally, because if you've gone from editing and it's a lot of work to just going on streaming, no, now I need to do this. You know, the graphics and all of that. But I still need to get back to doing both. You know, like the editing and stuff like that, because that's what. Yeah, but once you get used to this, then it's like, okay, I just, put in the work, making the graphics, and then see what we're doing now. It's easy. I couldn't do this. When me and Davey done one from each team initially on the kids channel, he had to send me his video. I had to chop it. Like, it was just like, now we can just do it together. Like, you're there, I'm there, and we can do one from each team easy.
How old is Davey?
About 55 or 56, I think.
Okay, she's a little bit younger than me then. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think maybe 56.
He's known a lot of the era that I grew up in then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's And he says
I could sort of tell that it'd be that, because he's like me. He wouldn't be that generous of giving out too many points.
No.
Nah. Exactly like me. He just
that's what's funny thing is, when he was talking,
than all of this they're not getting fucking 8 and 9.
Exactly. Yeah, and even when I'm giving my opinion to counter him, he's sticking to like, nope. Like when I was saying, what was it? I don't know if it was Masuaku, and I'm like, and he's like, nah, I wasn't trying to make him change, but yeah, he's like, nope, this is what I'm saying, and this is what it is. Yeah. So I don't know if you remember, you see the shirt that me and David's wearing, the light blue one. He says that he kind of remembers that one way back in the day, like the baby blue or sky blue with the 2 lines. Do you remember like when that would have been?
Do you know that used to be nearly all West Ham supporters then? When we had the 2 hoops.
Yeah.
That original kit, everyone loved it. Everyone loved that kit. Right? It was just, what a great away kit that was. It was wonderful. We loved it. I presumed it was an away kit. I'm just presuming that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we loved it. Everyone loved that kit. Everyone. It was different. Not that anyone bought shirts. There's not many of us that could afford to buy a bloody shirt back then or get one.
Exactly.
Really, you didn't have them. And as you know, when you went away games, you didn't wear any colours.
Exactly. Keep that. Yeah, you know what? It's funny because like I said, when we first came on, your story. No, we didn't mention that. Your story today on Football Unfocused regarding Stephen, the Manchester United fan, when you went to the rugby game.
Yeah, Steve Carter, from Mauritius.
That was funny because you was like, look, I don't really remember names, but you remembered his name because of the significance to the situation.
I'm terrible at names, but that boy Steve Carver, I always remember him when he pulled me aside and said, "Boys, just keep a low one. Don't let them know you're fucking West Ham, for fuck's sake." He said, you're going to get murdered if you do. I went, no, we're not that stupid.
That's funny. But was he your pal from school, or you just knew him from school?
Yeah, he's sort of a pal. You know, I went great friends with him. My big mate was a big West Indian boy called Huey Albert. You know, and that used to be funny. And you can remember them days, you know, when a big influx of immigration from the West Indies, and you know, back then a lot of, especially around Forest Gate there in East London, a lot of West Indian guys, and our school was the biggest Catholic school around. So we had a lot of West Indian guys coming out, and Huey was such a absolute gent. He was such a lovely boy, and me and him hit it off really young. And we actually used to go to play tennis, right, at the local parks, at Plashwick Park and Valentine's Park, and the looks he would get, right? Because he was black. Because he was black playing tennis.
Played tennis.
It was so weird. It was so unusual. Really used to laugh about it. I said, see what kind of looks you get today, Huey. And we played tennis together, and people would be going, what the fuck? What's this black man doing playing tennis? It's not normal. And it weird. We used to laugh, man. Top boy. But
funny.
Steve Carver, I thought he was Indian at first, and then we got talking, and he said, "No, my family from Mauritius."
Mauritius, yeah.
And, but to walk into that pub, right, and thank fuck, we didn't realise there were Cockney Reds at the beginning, but they were, all of them. There was fucking hundreds of them, and it was. Glad we didn't go in there with any shirts on or anything, because it could have been
Different
bad.
story. Different story.
Yeah.
Well, all right, you look. So I'll say it again. Tuesdays, Guess Who? Wednesdays is Initial Thoughts, and that is 12 p.m. UK time. I want, hopefully you lot can tune in and get involved. Tomorrow or today, whatever, I'm going to do the watch along. Cieran, what's the time? What is 3 p.m. in Australia? Or Brisbane? Yeah, Brisbane.
Yeah, that's 1 in the morning.
Oh God, so no.
I'll probably be up for the game. So.
All right, so you lot, I'm doing a watch along, but I'm going to be watching it on a stream, which is, I never do that. Cam has suggested it, so we'll see how that goes. And then obviously we do the player ratings, but the player ratings is later, Cieran. It's going to be 10 p.m. for the player rating. So it's, it's a way up. Yeah, I didn't want my missus to be moaning.
Oh, that's right. That's 8 in the morning for me. That's sweet.
Yeah, so the player ratings will be a lot later than the actual game finished. First shirt was bought for my nan for Christmas, 1980. She had to sew on the badges. First shirt and shorts was bought by my nan for Christmas, 1980. Was that before or after we won the FA Cup, Darren? When you got the kit.
Yeah, the only colours.
Laugh is cheap.
Home game. My mum, when I was about 10, 11, she'd knit the claret and blue scarf for me. That was,
I remember you saying 16 foot. I heard you say that.
It was one of them. I could have wrapped it around me about 20 times. Right? It was that fucking. She just got carried away watching telly and fucking knitting. It went on forever. But it was claret and blue like that,
And rough knitted. Titch, what is the app with the players? Right, the app that that has got the squad list. Is that Wally? Wally, it's called Flash Score. I'm gonna try and show you the actual app. No, you can't see that. No, you can't see it. It's called Flash Score, Wally. It's green with white and red in the middle. Yes, it's a green app, and with that you can go to the squad. You can go to the club and you can click on squad, and then you get a full list. So, but generally, I'm going to stick to the players that everybody knows. The funny thing is, going back to that, did you see, Cieran, that Kimmy actually got a couple right? She didn't really know, but she must have been using Flash Score. She must have been using it to probably just throw out a name. Like, I'm just going to say that person. So yeah, that was the whole purpose of that, is that everybody is in it. But
the squads of all the teams.
Yeah, so basically, I've set West Ham as my team. So unfortunately, when the watch-alongs are on, because I pause it to be in time with Cam, the score will flash up like West Ham, whatever, so you know in advance. But yeah, it tells you your results, your head-to-head against the team you're playing, your squad as well. So literally, when we do Guess Who, let's say I put up Brighton, for instance, and you're not too familiar, and let's say 3 rounds go through and no one gets it, you might go flash score and just think, oh, you know, Tom Jones, fuck it, I'll just say him, and you might be right. I'm sure Kimmy must have done that, because she got 2 right, like... Yeah, flash score, Wally. I don't know if it's one word. 1 second. It's one word, flash score.
I've got a Bonner, no problem.
Yeah, you knew I was going to put a Bonner up.
Wait, was up that. Oh, fucking hell. No, it ain't live, bollocks.
So Darren got his kit before we won the FA Cup, and Darren says, Kimmy, done well. You know what I like, but...
I'll tell you what. Darren says that. I think my first West Ham shirt was that FA Cup final shirt.
In 1980?
Yeah, 1980. That's the first shirt I ever had. I actually bought. Pretty sure of it. That was. And I had that for years hanging up here. And I haven't got it now. In the end, I used it and it threw it away. I should have kept it like for the memory. But yeah, it was that kit. And do you realise in that final pitch, both teams played in their away kit?
Why?
Arsenal, West Ham. West Ham done it because they thought that white one, the away kit, was just a lucky kit. So they kept it for the final.
And Arsenal was wearing, what colour was Arsenal wearing as an away kit?
I think they were wearing that yellow and blue.
Yeah.
They were wearing that. I always wondered why. Now, why were both teams in their away kits? But they were.
All right, this is a question for you. What was the did we both have sponsors in that game, and what were the sponsors?
I don't know sponsors back then. No, we didn't. No,
it weren't far after that though, was it?
No, it wouldn't have been long after that, but we didn't have them in that game. There's no sponsors. No, apart from the shirt, and I forget what shirt it was then. I don't know if that was Umbro or I can't remember who the shirt was from. To be honest.
Was it Umbro? Is Kimmy still here? I don't think she's here no more. I don't know if her batteries... I'm hoping it's just the battery issues on her phone, man, because, like I said, you know, she's going through... Yeah, I hope it's that. But Kimmy, right. if you watch this back, we'll be on tomorrow for the watch along. And I don't know how that's going to go, because, like I said, I'll be streaming it, which I don't stream football, so we'll see. Darren, who was West Ham's first sponsor? Yeah, good question. Peach says back. BAC, that was her first. Was it BAC?
BAC Windows could be a good. Yeah, I think
was that the first sponsor?
Peachy, that could be a good shout.
I think
Dagenham Motors came after that. Fucking BAC Windows.
Yeah, it weren't Dagenham Motors. That definitely weren't the first one. I know that for a fact. I don't know what the first one was, but it weren't Dagenham Motors.
I think he might be right with BAC Windows. Yeah.
That was the first sponsor, yeah. FA Cup's a brilliant name.
Arsenal had JVC, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because I was going to say, was Arsenal wearing JVC in that? Because I know Arsenal as JVC, like as the first thing that I remember is JVC, but I'm thinking, did they have someone before that?
No.
Bloody hell. Yeah. We've been going for 2 hours and 40 minutes, Cieran. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I thought, you know what?
Well, that's my fault. I talk a lot of shit. Keep it going.
I thought about an hour. Like when I was thinking, yeah, about an hour, 11 o'clock to 12.
Man.
But yeah, you lot. I'll say it again. Guess Who every Tuesday.
Don't forget.
Initial Thoughts every Wednesday. And yeah, that's the two things that we're gonna introduce as a weekly segment. Guess Who should last no more than an hour, and I think Initial Thoughts once again no more than an hour because of the actual concept. But we're gonna keep it as a points accumulation, so it keeps everybody a league table and all of that. Like I said, I like to do things different, and by creating a league table, it keeps everybody involved, everybody entertained, yeah, it creates a little bit more work for me, but I enjoy doing it. So, like I said, this is YouTube, man. Everybody's got to feel part of the channel, and anything that I do, everybody will feel part of it, basically. Man United was Sharp. No, was that their first one?
Yeah.
Sharp, maybe.
Sharp. Could be their first, because that's what I remember. Sharp.
You know,
Yeah.
the TV in my living room is actually made by Sharp as well.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Sharp TV, the one downstairs. Yeah.
Do you remember getting your first colour television?
Shit.
Or did you always have one with your age?
No. Listen, no, we didn't. Trust me. I'll be working during both of this. Nice one, Danny. Nah, we had black and white to start with, and when did we get the first one? I can't remember. I can't remember. But yeah, I remember having a black and white TV. I also remember my eldest brother is very intelligent, and when the TV packed in, I remember that he took it apart, all the pieces on the floor, and he put it back together, and it worked. So yeah, as a kid,
My brother,
So, yeah.
right, my older brother, used to walk up to it and just smash it on the top. That was his idea. I'm getting a better picture, and sometimes it works.
No, he took it apart and fixed it, man. Which is crazy.
Wow.
Great jobs, thank you. Peach says Lawrence want to go live in a bit. I can't believe the time, man. It's 2:20 to 2. Right, Cieran. Like I said, we've done this already, but I'm gonna let you. I want you to sign out, and once again, thank you for coming on, and everybody that took part. Thank you for taking part, and we will make this a regular segment. Different people. Cieran obviously will be a regular, but I'm saying, people just on here, and we just chat basically. Yeah. Cieran, over to you, my friend.
Well, thanks for all tuning in. And thank you for having me, guys. I enjoyed chatting.
Nah. My pleasure.
Like yourself, I'm not a big Christmas man. I would have been when the boy was young. Well, that was great for him, but it's not a big thing for me. So this is giving me a nice break from all the nonsense. So yeah, I've enjoyed it, mate. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for that.
No, this is definitely my pleasure. And cheers, everyone. You know what it is, yeah? When people in the chat is communicating, and it keeps you on the stream. Like I said, I thought an hour, but it's kind of flown by because we're all interacting. So
I'm terrible because I can't remember anything, and then all of a sudden a memory will pop into my head, and I feel like I need to tell it because I'll forget it again.
Yeah. I think, Cieran, you got a lot of stories, so yeah, we'll definitely come back and do this again. But yeah, I'm going to end this because
Did you hear my Jack Charlton story the other week?
The one that the brother played. No, he played for. Yes, yeah. I did hear it. I heard it. Yeah. Sometimes I'll be doing stuff, so I'm listening, but I'm doing bloody stuff around the house, so I'm just listening, so I can't really comment. I don't want to comment because then people might respond, and then it looks like I'm ignoring them when I'm just doing what I'm doing. So I just watch basically. You lot, everybody in the chat, good night, and thank you for tuning in. And we will be doing a watch along tomorrow. I don't know how good it will be because I'm streaming it, but yeah, and hopefully West Ham get the 3 points that we really need.
We desperately need 3 points, don't we? We need it on the board, mate. Come on.
Yeah.
We need it. Come on, West Ham. So let's hope we can forward a team to get it. All right, boy.
Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you.
Nice one. See you later, everybody.